What's up, guys? It's Guiltspire here, and welcome back to Dead by Daylight. So, this is a pretty momentous day, and I am wicked excited to show you the new killer, and maybe we'll see if we'll do the survivors today, if not tomorrow. The new killer and survivor for chapter 22. And we're gonna be starting off with the artist who is new killer, and honestly, and this is not an over-exaggeration, I think this, as far as power levels concerned, is the best killer that behavior has added to the game since the Blight. And that is not an overstatement, that's not an overreaction. I think, honestly, she is on par with the rest of the S tiers. You think she's overpowered? I don't think she's overpowered. I think that she's a worse nurse, is the best way that I can explain how she works. Is that she's a worse nurse in the grand scheme of things, which a worse nurse is still freaking good. Like, I think there are arguments to be made that she's either top A tier or around bottom S. She can get an injury pretty easily if she plays it well. Well, that's the biggest thing. I think that there is a lot of mechanical pieces moving with the artist. That's the biggest thing that I feel like a lot of people don't fully understand, is there's a lot of moving pieces, and a lot of killers are not going to be able to understand how to play her. But you guys will kind of see what I mean as we get into the game. But I think this could arguably be a S tier killer. However, she's also brought some really good perks with her as well, and honestly, there's not a single perk of hers that's bad, in all honesty. Grim Embrace. Also, Marcus, yo, how you doing, my friend? Thank you much for the tier 1 sub. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So let's go through the new perks. Grim Embrace. Your act of servitude to the entity has gone. Let me restart that. Your act of servitude to the entity has not gone unnoticed. Each time a survivor is hooked for the first time, you gain a token. Upon reaching 4 tokens, Grim Embrace activates. The entity blocks all generators for 30 seconds to tier 3. The Obsession's aura is revealed to you for 4 seconds in addition to. Kind of a really good perk, almost like a secondary corrupt intervention. My team and I were also talking about this perk, and basically could theoretically give you 30 seconds to camp a hook, and meaning that you only have 30 seconds to spend until they move to second stage, which is also fairly significant as well. Then there is arguably maybe a new gen regression perk for killers. Scourge Hook Pain Resonance. Overwhelming pain reverberates outwards into chaos. At the start of the trial, up to 4 random hooks are changed into Scourge Hooks. You see their auras in white. Anytime a survivor is hooked on a Scourge Hook, the generator with the most progress explodes instantly, losing, on tier 3, 15% progress and will start to regress. Survivors repairing the generator will scream, revealing their location. This is also kind of insane, because it really is a 1-2 punch with Scourge Hook Pain Resonance and with Pop. The reason being is, think about it. You hook someone on a Scourge Hook, that's 15% off the gen. Survivors then scream, revealing their location. It does not give them the incapacitate status effect like Eruption does, but they scream nonetheless. You then get Pop in hand, you go to that gen, which was the one of the most progress, and then you pop it for an additional 25%. That is a 40% total regression, equating to 32 seconds. Insane. Absolutely insane what you can do with that. So, it is arguable that maybe Scourgehook Pain Residence and Pop might be the new gen regression perks over like Ruin and Pop. Because think about it, this is conditional, but far less fragile in comparison to Ruin Pop. And it synergizes very, very well. Now, this last perk I love to bits, but it is equally just as powerful as the other two. Hex Pentimento. You reveal the true power of totems hidden within their remains. You see the aura of destroyed totems. You can perform a ritual on a destroyed totem to resurrect it as a Rekindled. Sorry, just making sure that I was still searching for match. As a Rekindled totem. The more Rekindled totems that exist, the greater their effects. One Rekindled totem reduces survivors' repair speed by 30% on tier 3. Two Rekindled totems reduce survivors' healing speed by 30% in tier 3. 3 Rekindled totems reduces survivor recovery speed from being down by 30% in tier 3. 4 Rekindled totems reduces survivors' exit opening speed by 30% in tier 3. And last but not least, 5 Rekindled totems. All totems are blocked by the entity. When a Rekindled totem is removed, its remains are consumed by the entity. This is kind of nutty. So on tier 1, by itself, if you were to get a single Rekindled totem, that is the equivalent of a max Thanatophobia, which for those who don't understand what that means is that the gen repair speed penalty is 16 seconds. So if a survivor, a single survivor, gets rid of one totem and you rekindle it, that is now 20 or 16 seconds. 16 seconds, that's tier 1! That is tier 1 of the perk. So think of it this way, when you rekindle, it takes 2 seconds to rekindle. It's basically the equivalent of like snuffing out a boom. On tier 3, it moves up to 30% penalty. Multiply that by 80 seconds, you're looking at 24 second increase on generators, give or take. So yeah, 30% plus, let's see, 80 plus 30%. So you're looking at gens becoming a total of 104 seconds. Insanity. Utter insanity. 104 second gens. Better than Spirit? I think so. I think she has more lethality. The only thing she doesn't have on Spirit is the movement speed. Spirit is kind of ridiculous because she has that 160 second movement speed, but I don't think you necessarily need it with this killer. How does get rid of the Hex? Do they have to cleanse all the Rekindled totems before? Yes, they have to re-cleanse the Rekindle, basically. They have to re-cleanse the Rekindled. Also, I will let you know, the PTB snapshot apparently happened like a week ago, which is kind of stupid. Because normally they do it like 2 weeks, maybe 4 weeks out. Nope, like a week ago. So I have no blood points, which means I get to kick rocks, eat dirt, and don't have enough for tier 3 perks. Oh, well, it happens. Honestly, I love this killer, so I am not upset about having to play her, to be honest with you. So I know when you hit them with a crow, it injures them, but how many crows does it take to injure them with crows again? So if you hit them with your dire crows through an object, they then get swarmed. If you hit them again while they are marked, then they become injured. However, if they get hit with no collision in between the dire crow and the hit, it results in an injury. You're going to see some great examples of how to use this killer's power around both tight loops and some significantly powerful loops like Shack and LT walls. I practiced this killer a little bit prior to stream, and my god, they are strong. Not to mention you get good information, good gen pressure. Like, there is a lot to talk about with this killer, and I cannot wait for you guys to see this. So I am quite excited, as you can tell. The W meta reigns supreme. Yeah, there's some conversation we had about the Survivor as well. Yeah, I was right. Like, I was pretty on point with that. So, great point about this. Look at this. This is gonna be insane. So, let's set up the die crows. 1, 2, 3. Let's let them out. See if you get any hits. There we go. 1, 2, 3. No, 2 survivors. We get 2 survivors. So we know where there's a survivor there and a survivor there on that gen. So, amazing bit of information. Who needs Lethal Pursuer? I can just hit ya, and that's about it. Now I know where the survivors are. See scratch marks? We're golden. Let's set up this crow here. She's gonna jump back through. Maybe. Now where'd she go? Oh, she went past? I see. So let's let that respawn. Or despawn, rather. We find the Cheryl. Alright, we'll get a hit here, no doubt. And then how do you want to play this? Where's the pallet? Pallet's here. Set up a crow right here. Get her back into the tile. She held W. Yeah, she did not care right there. Too bad it doesn't matter. And an immediate DC. Fantastic. You know, gotta love that 15-minute queue time for Survivor's DC. If you run into the crow, you do get swarmed. If you run into a second crow thereafter, you get injured. And look at that, how quickly you can set it and then send it. So that was immediate injure on that Claudette. Unless she has Dead Heart, she goes down. It's better Huntress. This is like a mixture between Huntress and Nurse. So very, very strong to say the least. You get the injury over the window as we're already going to loop that area. Look how strong that is. It's ridiculous. She is, in my opinion, without a question in my mind, a S-tier killer. At the very least, she is top A. At the very best, S-tier. It is utterly ridiculous how strong she is. Honestly, I don't think she needs to get banned from comp, because then you need to say, well, Nurse needs to get banned from comp. Like, point-blank statement. Like, she takes some tactical skill. Like, there's mechanical skill to be had. Yes, I heard it. Go for it. Well then, so I'm sorry? Yeah, like I said, at like top levels of play, she is stupid good. She's gonna get hard nerfed? No, I do not want her to get nerfed, I'll be honest. I really don't. Because she is a good killer, but it takes mechanical skill. I do not think your average killer can do what I just did. She's getting nerfed. And lethal, get eerie. I don't think she needs to get nerfed. I think she might need some tweaking, but I think too much of a nerf would just be too much. Like, I'm fine with them bringing us a good killer who needs mechanical skill, because do I think that every killer can do what I just did? Probably not. But if a top-level Nurse, a top-level Huntress can recreate that moment there, ridiculous. Because that was 2 downs in the span of, like, seconds. But, with that being said, that's how freaking ridiculous this killer can be. Like, point-blank statement. How ridiculous she can be. Well, with that being said, GG, well played to these survivors, and, well, myself, I guess. We need new interesting characters and powerful, because otherwise just blight Nurse spirits. That's the thing, I want more variety. I don't want it to just be those top 3 S-tier killers, and I think she does bring some variance. For all this DCs, yeah. The DCs were rough. Good luck, have fun next match. Alright, let's drop them a follow as well and say a GG well played in their chat. Give them GG, drop a follow. Always here to support other DVD
Oh, it's fine. It was the Cheerio, the one that just the C on first thing.
Let's see, do they have VODs? I really hope they have VODs.
Hey, thank you for supporting.
No, they don't! Pain and suffering. Leave a lurk as well. Did you see how she walked on the endgame screen? I mean, if your arms were that long as well, to be fair, you'd probably be a drag in them as well. What happened? What do you mean? Oh, I was saying that they don't have VODs. So video on demand for me to rewatch that game. I was hoping to be able to rewatch it later. I love rewatching VODs. Whenever I see another TTV, I always see if they have VODs and pull it up for later. Eight-hour stream? Probably not. Probably 4 hours. The new map is deserty? Yes. It reminds me of Dark Souls. Like, this entire, chapter reminds me so much of Dark Souls. I love it. We'll see, Slashy. We'll see. The new map is nice. The new map is very nice. It's about the size of, I think, Ormond. About 156. Very rectangular in shape. Yeah, the screen is very Dark Souls vibe. The killer is very Dark Souls vibe. The new map is very Dark Souls vibe. I love it. Crocodile, the PTB is always that way. Gonna be more so for the killer than it is for survivors. If the killer queue times are long, it means that the survivor queue times are probably short. Yeah, I'd be down for that. I think I want to record the animations, like the Mori, pallet break, pallet stun, stuff like that. So, Giraffe, if you're available after 11 p.m. CST, I'd be down to go into the new map if you want to help me out with some recording. I mean, inspiration is the greatest form of flattery, is it not? So I could see it. But yeah, no. This is kind of... I love this killer. I really do. This, I don't have a main, but this might become one of my favorite killers as of recent. She's very Dark and Soulsy. I love it too. It's just so good. She reminds me of, the Crow. I forget her name. Like O something. You trade boss souls with her. Have you ever read her lore? I have not read it yet. I'm going to, though. Do you think any perks will be banned in comp? They seem good. I'm not sure. Devour level OP. Grim Embrace has some conversation for getting banned, I think. That's the only perk that I could see getting comp banned. Because think about it. Let's say you end up double hooking one survivor. Then, or let's say you hook everyone, and then you can theoretically camp the last hook to death, for all intent purpose. Not say to death, you could camp them at least the second stage. If they have already been hooked once, then you can camp them to death. Because this will give you 30 seconds of time where no one's on gens, which means it's 30 seconds of free camp. So I think that if anything were to get banned, Grim Embrace would be it. But yeah, no. Solid A, if not S tier. 100%, like top A. And I think at the highest levels, I think the conversation is she better than Spirit? I think at a glance, probably. Especially in Spirit's nerf stage. Yeah, I've equipped at the moment. Right now, I have Grim Embrace and Scourgehook Pain Resonance. Realistically speaking, Hex Pentimento. If you put Xeno or someone on her, she's S tier. Well, that's the biggest thing. It's all gonna be based on skill variance. I feel like she has a lot of mechanical pieces that you have to keep in mind. So I think if you pit her against top level players, I think that there's going to be a lot of interaction and counterplay to her, but she's so strong. I played a Freddy today. It was weird. It was strangely hard and really easy at the same time. You miss old Freddy? Said no one ever. Now, I want to talk about a really interesting build that I do want to make, and I'll probably make a video once it hits live with Hex Pentimento. So, remember how fun it was to run Hex Retribution and Hex Plaything together? I want to run Hex Retribution, Hex Plaything, and Hex Pentimento in a build. Because think about it. This is really cool. This will make it so that every Hex will get cleansed. Unless there are Boon Totems, in which case, screw Boon Totems. But what that will make it is so that if they were to cleanse all 4 playthings, and Hex Retribution, you get your 5th one. You can go through and rekindle one after another, after another, after another. And even if you just rekindle one, it's 30 seconds, or 30% penalty to repair speed. Her ink arm attack is so satisfying. I think, honestly, so much about her is so satisfying. I have not had this much fun with a killer, off of the first few games in a long time. I'm so hyped for this killer. She's so much fun and so good. What killer cheated by Crocodile? Her. Point blank statement. Get her. When she comes out, get her. No doubt. I love the little jerky movements, when her head tilts and moves around. It's like a crow. She's become so infected by them. She mimics them. So good. No worries, Steamed. I hope you feel better soon, my friend. Love her music. Her music's fantastic, too. It's so good, from the way that she waves her feathers, to the ink arm, to the jerky head movements, the long neck. It's just so satisfying, from an aesthetic perspective, from a gameplay perspective, from a perk perspective. It feels so good. Since our queue times are a bit long, I think what I am going to do while on stream, guys, is probably to record some content that I want to put on YouTube and TikTok. Mainly a perk readout, as well as maybe if the queue times find ourselves be long enough. I think, what was the Michaela readout? Hold on 1 second, let me find out. YouTube. How long is my Michaela readout? YouTube Studio. Lore by Daylight. It was 8 minutes. So I could probably do a full readout of her lore. It's been in agonized pain for a while and honestly just tired and in pain. That's fair, Steamed. Well, if you need to, don't hesitate to go to a doctor, my friend. So, you keep in mind that I might ignore chat when doing some of the readouts for content. Because I think I'm going to put out a YouTube short of a readout of the new perks. Which I might have to do in customs because this only shows tier 1. And then a readout of her lore, which looks to be about as long as Michaela. So probably 8 minutes, give or take. I might need to time how long it takes the queues right now, as they have become shorter. The queue times have become shorter today, which has been nice. They were pretty long earlier, 30 minutes. You turned 24 today. Hey, that's awesome, Marcus. Well, happy birthday, my friend. Hopefully it went well. Wish they would go back and expand lore for other original characters. That'd be amazing. I agree with that. And I know they have done that in some capacity through archives, but still hasn't been much. It gets worse, so I don't have to wait any longer for an appointment. Yeah, probably a good idea, Steamed. Let's be honest. All right. Did you do anything interesting, Marcus, for your birthday? Just relax, maybe. Play some PTB. I really hope they don't DC, but I also feel like most survivors who play against the new killer will probably end up DCing. Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. It also doesn't help that they're all Steam, so, you know, there's that too, of course. Oh. I can't explain how hyped I am for this killer. She's so much fun. She has cross-map info. She has cross-map injure potential. She has anti-loop. Like, there's so much fun stuff with her. Because people are strange. I don't understand DCing either out of games. I've only, like, left a match for, like, emergency situations, and that's about it. Had lunch with my mom, then went to my grandparents for dinner. That's awesome, Marcus. Well, it sounds like it was a good time. Hopefully you enjoyed yourself and the company. Alright, here's hoping for the new maps, so we can show you guys that. Actually have some really strong loops. One's fairly early on after I got full tunneled off every hook. That's fair. Like, I have DC'd because my internet went out, that's it. I mean, sometimes there is cause for DC, but, like, very seldomly, I'd say. Even if you're getting tunneled out, just say, like, let them hook you at that point. Call it a day. Get your blood points. Am I a little bit concerned that that load bar has not moved? I think we're either going to get a 500 error code or we're spawning in on RPD. $500 error code. What the literal hell? Who did that? Who's the freaking nature? You're a freak of nature. You and your freaking deliverance build on PTB. Use a new boon totem. Speaking of, let me, I'm getting tunnel, I'll just try and stay alive. If not, I tell him, hope you get flash bingo next match. Yeah, nowadays I just take the hook and BP, but that day I was just frustrated, I had enough. That's fair, that's fair. That's so painful though, for a 500 error code for a like 10-minute queue time. Did you also see the update to the perks / add-ons and loadouts? That you can skip pages? Yes, I'm very excited about the skipping pages. I mean, to be fair, I kind of memorized all where everything is, so I knew like what page X, Y, and Z was on. So kind of a moot point there, but it is nice nonetheless to see. Spain blood points in PTB are the same in normal games? No. Unfortunately, anything you do in a PTB does not cross over to live, which does suck. To be fair, I really wish that behavior would do the same thing that most PTBs do. Which is they would just give you all unlocked so you can fully test out, you know, the new perks, new killer, and not have to, you know, grind the PTB that theoretically does nothing. You see this as an absolute win? Why? I feel like it's an absolute loss. It means anytime I spend in the PTB results in, like, no benefit. Other than, obviously, early access. It really is super dumb they have to grind the PTB for, like, no value. Other than, like, the experience, which, to be fair, you know, that leg up is amazing. Especially as a content creator, but that's about it. Because they have, like, 13 blood points. Well, so, basically, behavior takes an image of your account, X period of time, before, and I think like this snapshot was maybe like a week ago. Because I had been like at 1 million for a while, like trying to make sure that it got into the snapshot, and then like in the last 2 weeks I was spending blood points, and they're like, oh, I think we're gonna take a snapshot, you know, 2 weeks from the PTB. Like a week, 2 weeks. I'm like, seriously? You guys never do that. It's like a month normally. So, that was painful. Just a little bit. Because I've been like at 900,000, 1 million for the PTB snapshot. And it's like, no, I think not. It's like, okay, sure. I guess. Stop looking. I was looking to see what the animation of the crow looked like when she sent it out, but it kind of just fades into the background. Yeah, it just fades pretty quickly. But, like, the animation's pretty cool. Like, she even has a pretty unique silhouette. Kind of just what it looks like when she spawns the crow from this angle. Because I haven't played against her at all. I've just been seeing her from first person's perspective. That's actually kind of terrifying. Not gonna lie. Seeing that crow from the side. But yeah, no, I'm very interested in a few different things with her builds. I guess while we're sitting here, we could talk about the survivor perks. Obviously, we can't see them in-game, but I can at least talk about them. Yeah, the cosmetics are going to be interesting. They could do so much cosmetic-wise. Not to mention weapon-wise, because this hand here, the elongated hand, you know, that's going to be her weapon, so I'm curious to see what, like, different changes they'll make to that. But let's pull up the new survivor. New survivor perks. Let's see, DBD survivors. I wonder if the wiki is already updated. Let's find out. Chapter 2. No, it looks like they haven't updated it chapter-wise. What's his name? Let's do Boom. Let's see if Boone finds it. Boone, circle healing, Boone perks, no. Jonah? Jonah has not been updated in the wiki, unfortunately, so I have to just look it up. Let's see. Jonah, Vasquez, DVD. Oh, looks like it did. Strange. Perks. Here we go. So we have 3 really interesting perks. So first one we're looking at is called Overcome. You have calculated how much energy you can risk to expend. Whenever you become injured, you retain the movement speed burst for 2 additional seconds. Overcome causes the exhausted stats effect for 60, 50, 40 seconds. Overcome cannot be used when exhausted. After careful analysis, we are getting the hell out of here. So, honestly, this seems like a different version of Sprint Burst. I think this is going to be very handy. And honestly, I think as far as exhaustion perks are concerned, could be better than like balanced landing because it is far less conditional. So I do like that a lot. We also have Corrective Action, which this is the one that is... Actually, this one's not the one that's controversial. This one is more of a crutch or newbie perk. You quickly analyze problems and correct others' work when they make a mistake. You start the trial with 1, 2, 3 tokens and gain a token each time you succeed a great skill check, up to a maximum of 5 tokens. Each time another survivor cooperating with you on the same generator fails a skill check, Corrective Action consumes 1 token, transforming their failed skill check into a good skill check instead. So, for example, if you're playing with someone who's brand new, not used to Dead by Daylight, I'd recommend that you double up on gens together and use this if they're not using something like, you know, Technician. So I actually do like this a lot. I think it's really neat. I think it's a really good, you know, veteran helps new player perk, if that makes sense. Then we have Boon Exponential. This is kind of ridiculous, but I think it's less ridiculous than I initially thought it was as I thought about it more. When it seems like your number is up, you consider ways to recalculate the odds. Press and hold the Activate Ability button near a dollar hex totem to bless it and create a Boon Totem. Soft chimes ring out within a radius of 24 meters. Survivors inside the Boon Totem's range benefit from the following effects: 90, 95, 100% bonus to recovery speed. Unlocks the self-recovery ability, allowing you to fully recover from the dying state. Watch out, PDB are being DDoSed. People are targeting streamers. People are miserable. It is bonus? Yes, it is bonus. Yeah, so it is a bonus to the pickup speed. You can only bless 1 totem at a time. All the boon perks are active on the same boon totem. So, initially, I thought that this was going to be kind of ridiculous. It's basically unbreakable for your team, right? One person brings it, everyone has unbreakable. I think that it's not as good as I initially thought, and here's why. If you're bringing Circle of Healing, as you guys have seen me use, you're majority of the time going to be putting Circle of Healing in a corner of the map where gens have already been completed, right? So, namely, you're not going to be around that area if you're in chase. This perk, I feel, is more or less to be used in the middle of the map, where everyone, you know, can get value. The problem with that is also it becomes very fragile, as the killer could potentially find it and snuff it out. However, this also suggests that the killer doesn't slug out, or the killer slugs out, right? That you get a unbreakable, basically. So, I think that versus Circle of Healing, which I determined, in my own opinion, to be meta-defining, where, you know, the meta warped around this perk, where it is used pretty much non-stop, especially if you're in a 4-man Swift, I find that this one is more akin to Power Struggle. It doesn't warp the meta, but it will change the way that killers play, and here's why. Most killers at this point assume that Unbreakable is going to be in their game, and if they don't, they get punished for it when it does happen. Power Struggle, very similarly. I no longer walk through pallets out of the fear of Power Struggle, because though I doubt it will happen, there's still that possibility that there's a Power Struggle in the game, and I will get hit by it. With that being said, I think if I know that there are boon totems in the game, and I'm aware of that fact, that I will not slug out survivors for the sheer fear that they have boon exponential as well as Circle of Healing. I think that's the way to look at this, that it is not necessarily meta-defining or meta-warping, but it is something that's going to change the perspective and the way in which killers play when they know boon totems are in the game. So that's my kind of take on that, where I don't think it's as strong as Circle of Healing, based on how you need to use it, but it still is a very strong perk if you can get value from it, which, the amount of value from it, you can usually equate each chase to roughly 30 seconds. So if you get downed and pick yourself up, then you can say you save 30 seconds, give or take. You know, you can even say you save 16 seconds, for the sheer fact, to make it equivalent to Circle of Healing. So it's still a very strong perk. But yeah, so those are the Survivor perks. I mean, 2 of the 3 of them are also very strong. So I would say, at the very least, I would say the new Exhaustion perk is probably something, if you see it in the Shrine of Secrets over the next 6 months, you might as well grab it. Like blocking every gen for 33 seconds, kind of a free corrupt. Blocking every gen for 33 seconds? What are you talking about? Blocking a gen for every 33 seconds. Are you talking about the new perk, the killer perk? It's not every time. It only activates one time. It only activates one time, Frostboy. It's a one-time use. So it's not as good as one might think. Perfect. So we know where they are. Alright, so we didn't hit them, but we got Killer Instinct on their whereabouts at the very least. Alright, they vault there. Let's see if I can get them to vault back in. No, they're holding W, which is the way you need to play around this killer, to be honest. Yeah, they either get hit or they get hit. There's very little way to play around that, to be honest. Yeah, the free lethal... Basically, it's free lethal pursuer. It's so freaking strong. So this will also activate off a Scourge Hook. Fantastic. 2 people here. Even better. I was hoping I could get on that rock. Apparently not. I know there's a second person here. Let's hit you. Honestly, I could see there being a limit to how far they go. That might be one of the major changes they make. But, like, this is very strong. Killer Instinct. Alright, she'll probably run through it, which is fine. That sets up for another crow. Now, if she runs through this next crow, she gets down. So, another thing to keep in mind here is that you can also set up traps. Because if they are already injured or affected by the swarm, the next time they touch one, you don't even need to trigger it, they will get downed. So you can also almost set up some traps in that way. So that's actually kind of a really cool thing you can do as well. Let's get some information. All right. There's the unhook in progress. 2 people here. Fantastic. Let's go for you, Nia, my girl. Good spin, though it feels like you were a little bit laggy, to be honest. I was hoping that would hit her, so I could at least get value out of that. That's just so nasty. Do you see how you can set up so far in advance and get free value if you understand how to use her power? Like, I set that up in a separate loop and was able to hit her with it. Like, what do you do? She is so nasty when you use her right. Like, at the highest level play, she's just so good. BTzo. Figment, I know you're here, you nuisance. Alright, let's pick you up. There's Scourge Hook activating. And also, all the gens are now locked down momentarily. Even better. However, my obsession is on the ground. Let's get an injure. Almost treat it like a Huntress Hatchet. Her ability is confusing. It's mechanically in depth, if that makes sense. It's very, very mechanically complex. And because of that, this is why I feel that she is strong, but a lot of people will not understand how to use her properly. That's my biggest thing. That's why I feel like, in a way, she doesn't need a nerf. Because a lot of people just are not going to understand how to use her at all, right? Click you. They're going to try and flashlight me. Nope. I will say one thing about Scourge Hook. It has no cooldown. If you chain Scourge Hook after Scourge Hook, it's insane amount of value. Like, I just hooked 1 on Scourge Hook. Here's another Scourge Hook. Another 9% off of that gen. And I know for a fact that that gen there is the most progressed. It's just so, so good. Like, these perks are a bit ridiculous. No information there. There's the first unhook. Alright, let's take a look. Stop that. You're rude. Where are we at? Are we going to Shack? Oh, yes, let's play Shack, please. So if she goes around the front, she takes an injury. It's just so strong. Like, this is why I'm saying this is the new S-tier killer. Like, there's no doubts in my mind. Wait, did she go into the loop or not? I actually can't tell. There's, like, multiple sets of scratch marks. Can she block hooks generators? No, she cannot block hooks. You cannot summon them at hooks. It's gonna go in this way. Okay, so she played that smart. If she had gone around the corner, she would have died. do this. Yeah, no, she has a lot of in-depth mechanical knowledge that's necessary to really capitalize on her, I feel. No, the crows physically do not block anything. If you run through them, you get swarmed, is how it works. There's not really a lot of basement potential, to be honest with you. Where are we going, Fangman? Need to get you down quickly. Here's the thing, why can't I couldn't set it down, that's so strange. I don't know how that works. You can also light burn the dire crows, by the way. That is something that you can do. Wait, Hamdan. That's a member of COTF, I just realized. I completely forgot about that, in fact, until just now. Yeah, this is a member of COTF. Holy hell. There we go. So there's Devour on this gen. 2 Devours. Let's go for the injured one. What you gonna do, my friend? Gonna pick up. Yeah, no, I'll actually pick up. I think we did shout out the TTV at the beginning of the game, yes. Oh, we hit someone over on Jack? Fantastic. This killer just feels so good. There's Nancy. Nancy, my girl. Now, if she vaults window, I can get a hit there. Let's get the hit. Yo, what's up, Snack? How you doing today, my friend? Hopefully doing well. Alright, let's see, my friend. Good dead hard, but won't get you anywhere. Except it will, because apparently I botched that. Alright, she can touch it now. She'll get swarmed if so. Perfect. Oh, this is so good. I need to get her to another Scourge Hook, though. They're about to finish the gen. That chase did take a bit long. Alright, up you go. 9% off of that gen. Let's break this. Oh, they did finish it. That's unfortunate. I mean, to be fair, I'm not running a very good build. It's all tier 1s. So I think we can at least secure the 2K, maybe 3. Let's see if we want to play this. Let's go for you. A little bit early on that, unfortunately. Yo, what's up, Thrasher? Doing pretty well, doing pretty well. Cannot complain. I'm surprised that didn't hit. It almost seemed like it wasn't on even ground, I suppose. We got the injury there. Perfect. Just so strong. A little bit too far behind for that hit, unfortunately. At least get the hit there. So we can try and set up for another hit. close with no cigar. I mean, you can definitely go on for long chases. It feels like the way you have to mind game against a nurse, if that makes sense. You don't make that. Hello, my dear. There's Figman. There's the Nancy. Good dead hard. But you'll go down for it nonetheless. Now we can check this execute. Alright, let's put you on a hook. And then I think we just can force the 4K. Yeah, I heard that from a mile away. Alright, so we'll get the 3-min out. And up you go. So, honestly, not too bad. This is a bit of a large map, and they play pretty well at the same time. All things considered, our build is 2 tier 1 perks. So, against a comp player, I feel pretty good about that. I feel pretty good. Not bad at all. I do love the look of this map, though. It's so Dark Souls-esque, it really is. But GG, well played to these survivors. This is a new killer. This is the PTB killer. They have not come to live just yet. That's so much fun. All right, let's mute you real quick. And then give them a GG well played in just a second. Have a follow. And GG well played. Always here to support other DVD streamers. I hope that you have a great night / stream. And leave lurk as well. Now let's also see if they have a VOD. They do. I get to watch the VOD later. Excellent. Alright. They went AFK right after the match? Well, unfortunate. But it is what it is. I want to see how the killer looks. The killer looks amazing. Her aesthetics are amazing. Her power is strong. The Scourge Hook being more useful than Nemesis 1 is just sad. Nemesis 1. Scourge Hook wasn't a Nemesis perk. You're talking about Pinhead, right? Scourge Hook Pain, Gift of Pain was Pinhead. But, I mean, it's not sad. The other Scourge Hook's still good, and it interacts. So Scourge Hooks are the same way that Boon Totems are. If you use multiple Scourge Hooks, multiple effects get applied to that hook. So, technically speaking, you could run Scourge Hook, Pain, Resonance, and Gift of Pain together, and it'd still be pretty strong. It'd still be very, very strong in the grand scheme of things. So I would not look at it as simply as that it's better. I think that it's synergistic, which a lot of people might not realize. Alright, let's see here. Do we just want to run Adept, I guess? Yeah, we can run Adept for now. We'll run Pentimento. Eruption? Are you talking about Eruption, right? I mean, yes, I would say that Pain Resonance in a vacuum is better than Eruption, correct. This is on tier 3, 15%, and can be done in rapid succession. I'll just upload a clip where he wasn't chased with 2 survivors despite them being in loops apart or pressuring someone across the map. So Dark. I think it was clipped just a moment ago. Let me take a look. I think someone just clipped it, where I pretty much did the same thing. Let's see. Is it here? Yes. So let me share this real quick, Dark, because this is kind of nuts. What we did here as well. If you did not already, watch this clip because this is kind of nutty. It's like a down within less than a second of each other. So I'm sorry. It's brutal what you can do with this killer. It really is. Like, I set up, so I hired over with crows, I set up for the hit with the dire crow, and then someone else was on a gen there. Like, very unique circumstances to allow that to happen, but still. It's gonna be crazy once people spend a few weeks on her. She's crazy already with anyone, like, when anyone with any form of, like, huntress knowledge, nurse knowledge, general, like, pathy knowledge is concerned. She is so nuts. It's so good. Oh my word. I am having so much fun with this killer. Like, no joke. I have not had this much fun with a killer in a long time because it really is a killer that synergizes well with things that I like, which is setup killers, where you have to predict. That's why I love Pyramid Head, because you have to predict movements. Why I love Nurse, Huntress. And then with this killer, it's like a mix of all of those things. Because I can get good info from across map by using their power. I can lock down loops. I can set up traps. There's like so much you can do with this killer. And it's so mechanically in depth that there's always something new you could do. It'd be hilarious if they called her, Velka. Why Velka, right? I'm curious. And thank you, Snooty Pooper. I appreciate you. But yeah, she's S tier. Like, I looked at her power and went, this seems kind of insane. And then I watched someone play her and went, this seems really insane. And then I played her myself and went, oh shoot, she's S tier. Like, that's how good she is. I really do hope that if they were to tweak her, that they don't do it too much, because I do want a good, like, A or S tier killer. I think that would be good for the game to have more variety at the higher end of play, because I do not feel like your average killer, your average player, can pick up the artist and play well. That's one of the biggest things about that. Same thing of Nurse, same thing of Blight, same thing of Spirit. Like, there's still mechanical skill necessary, and I think that if you're comparing mechanical skill of a killer, I think the artist is up there with the Nurse. Dark Souls Crow, Witch Goddess. I mean, it's not like they, you know, I could see it, I was thinking more of the Dark Souls 2 Crow, which I forget her name, like starts with an O, I think. That was the one I was thinking of as well. But I'm very happy with this killer. Probably the time between, our queue time between, not now, but next game, I'll probably do a readout of her perks, just so I can get that up for YouTube. DS1 had them in mass and painting areas. Oh yeah, you're right. I do remember those guys now. I do remember those guys. Yeah, you're right. Ornifex. Ornifex was her name. There we go. I don't know why you reminded me of the crows in DS1. Like, brought me her name, but Ornifex. There we go. There we go. Ornifex. You like how big the new map is? I don't mind it. Yeah. Brain is serious sometimes with its connections, apparently. Do Boon Totems counter the one where she can unbreak totems? Yes. Because those totems are not cleansed, thus it does directly counter Hex Pentimento. You never speak of DS3 Crow people? Never. Oh, but yes, it does. That's why I think that, in a way, if you're going to run Hex Pentimento, you probably want to run Hex Plaything and Hex Retribution. I think that 3-perk build is going to be very cheeky. I cannot wait. No, you cannot revive the Hex. When you rekindle the totem, it simply becomes Hex Pentimento. So it does not count as, you know, a rekindled haunted ground or rekindled ruin. Oh, I was like, Devour? No, it does not work that way. No. Hex Pentimento too late as usual. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how useful it is because of Boon Totems. I still think it's going to be pretty nice. Oh my word, though. So good. I'm so happy about this killer. Also, you guys can't see that. That's so unfortunate. I guess I will have to either move my screen, or I'll need to take off the face cam when I do a readout. So I was curious and Googled the word pentimento, a visible trace of earlier paintings beneath a layer or layers of painting on a canvas. Interesting. That is very interesting. I like that. I like that that thought. Yeah, that's the thing. It's very circumstantial for sure, right? Though I will say in comp scenarios, I might have to look at Hex Pentimento, how strong it is for comp play. Especially with like Season 2 of COTF allowing Noed, where most teams are going to full cleanse. I doubt Hex Pentimento would get used, but it could be interesting to see. I am curious on that. Because I feel like as soon as you get hexed by Hex Pentimento, the best thing to do is start to, you know, get rid of Rekindled totems. Because you should know as soon as the first one is rekindled. Alright, though. Do we have any add-ons worth our while? Let's see. No. Ink egg is bad. Charcoal stick. Or is no longer visible when in flight. No. After that Unbreakable Boon perk, almost all teams will run it. Honestly, I was talking about it earlier, but Boon Exponential is not that great in the grand scheme of things. I don't think it's as meta-warping as Circle of Healing is. Decrease birds, torment cooldown by 0.5 seconds after it takes flight. That's not bad, actually. Increases direct row out time by 4 seconds. That's not bad. Hindered is actually not bad. That actually does give you some value. It's a 5% decrease in speed. So maybe run Untitled Agony over this. Repel Dark Row Swarm's aura remains visible for additional 1.5 seconds. That's actually not bad either. Not in random play and in Swift, though. Even in a Swift, I feel like Exponential's not that great. Because if you're going to run Exponential, there's two things that you have to keep in mind. Is that it's only valuable if an instance that the killer does not pick immediately, and is only as valuable as your placement of the Boon Totem. So I'm not fully certain that Exponential is going to be as impactful in comparison to Circle of Healing. To be honest, because Circle of Healing you normally want to place out in near a already completed generator, out in a corner where the killer's never going to go. There is a new boon. Boon Exponential. It basically gives the entire team Unbreakable. Long story short. Which is pretty insane, but I don't know. I just don't feel like it's going to be as impactful in comparison. It'll likely be decent on indoor maps because the boon's more difficult to find, but other maps are going to be a little worse. Yeah, exactly. I would agree with that. And the thing is, I think if you're going to run that, you can't run Circle of Healing and Exponential. I think it's either one or the other. I don't think in that instance you want them to stack, to be honest with you. I think, like, maybe if you're in a 4-man Swift, you know, 2 separate people are probably going to want to run boons. Because they're going to want to be placed in different locations. Yo, what's up, Elite? How you doing? RPD. I will admit that maps with verticality are a little bit rough for the artist. Oh, I just messed that up. Okay, so they're not upstairs, so those must be downstairs. Let's take a look. Answer is yes. Yeah, any form of verticality is kind of rough for her. I will say that. We got Killer Instinct, but we did not actually get the hit. New killer, S tier. Point blank statement, though she does have some weak maps, like RPD, for example. Alright, let's get a hit here. If you think I didn't see, you are dead wrong, my friend. Yeah, holding W is what you need to do around here. If you see her placing a dire crow, you kind of need to leave ASAP. Because otherwise you will get downed. Sprint burst, good stuff. We get the hit. We lose 0 distance on her. Like, that's how ridiculous her power can be in the right hands. It really can be so strong. Because that was just a 1-2 punch of unavoidable pain. I want to get that on the Scourge Hook, though. There we go. 9%. Oh, you're injured. Did you seriously go through here? Gonna hit here. Look how ridiculous that is! Like, what could this poor man do? He comes face to face with a dire crow in that moment? Like, what are you supposed to do? This poor man, his entire hopes and dreams just diminished into ash. The chase music is so good. The chase music is so good. I do wish they unhooked a little bit sooner so I could have gotten Scourge Hook value there, not gonna lie. Where are we going, my friend? Going this way. Do you have a God palette? No, you don't. You have this God window, which isn't that great in a grand scheme of things. Yeah, you either get hit or you get hit. Like, what are you supposed to do there? You really can't do anything. That's 2. Oh, it's so mean. Oh, my word. Can you tell I'm having fun with this killer? I think it's obvious, but man, I am having fun with this killer. Alright, nothing on the upstairs. Oh, let's set up for this. Where's the third? Nothing. I have no idea where they are. They might be upstairs at helicopter. My only thought. Let's see if we can get a second hit. Nope, no dice. I was hoping that maybe I could get a second hit on the person who unhooked. I could not. But yeah, any map with any form of verticality, as you can see here, is kind of rough to play as. I will admit. Where are we going? Hey, it's a Claire. Good dodge. I appreciate that play. Perfect. You get the hit. Unfortunately, she still gains a lot of distance because she vaulted that pallet. So that was a bit rough for me, to be fair. There, we got the hit there, though. So we can now follow up. I can hear you. I know that was deception. Screw off on that. She is really strong. And I'm not even using a very good build as of this moment. There's Elodie. Let's go for Elodie next. I got caught in freaking geometry. GG's. How did I get stun from that far away. That's so stupid. I hate the stun distance nowadays. Just so bad. Let's get 9% off the next gen. I think on larger maps like this, it is going to be very rough to play her. Like, right now, we don't exactly have a great build. We did not get a hit there. Where are you going, Elodie? Out here, she vaults, that's fine. And where are we going now? You either get hit or you get hit. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. When you sit on a pallet like that, there's nothing you can do. You can aim 3, but there's no reason to do so, is the thing. Think about it. 9 times out of 10, you don't need to aim with 3. 1 is usually good enough. You wanna go upstairs? Oh, I was really hoping you'd go upstairs. I see someone here, though. Alright, where are you going, buddy boy? See someone down that hallway, but that's fine. We're going to go for you and try and get another Scourge Hook. Scourge Hook. Yes. Those words were just said. You don't think you have anything, unless you have a Dead Heart? No Dead Heart either. But you want another Scourge Hook, that's another 9% regression. And all gens locked down temporarily. Even better. Also, Obsession is, like, way far away. The Scourge Hook generator perk? Yeah, the Scourge Hook perk is pretty good. Not gonna lie. Like, it is probably up there with Pop as far as sheer value is concerned. Alright, where are you going, my friend? Sorry to say, but when you take someone off the hook, you have to replace them. That is how this works, after all. You don't make that. Now let's put you up. Oh, someone walked through it? Oh, that's great. I love that he walked through that, because now I can do this. Also, that generator that just exploded next to me was the most progressed. That's so good. Goes upstairs. Where are you, my friend? Someone that would hit. Did not. They've been a little bit off my timing. I still hear you. This Survivor's pretty loud. Like, maybe Jeff level loud? I do like the body blocks. Good stuff. Doesn't matter though, you injured on that pallet. That's a god pallet. Can I point that out? That's a god pallet that right there that I don't care if they use, because I can set up for a hit while looping them. Freaking fantastic. Who we hit? Looks like the one closest to us. Fantastic. They just scream if they are on the gen. Yes, there's no incapacitation status effect. It is just a scream. Correct. Hello there, bud. Yeah, it's not like eruption that way. Alright, we at least got him hit with crows. I was hoping to actually injure him there, to be honest. That one will. Oh, I thought he went that way. He did not. He went this way. Shoot. That was a smart play by him. Probably could have angled that a bit better, knowing where he's running. Yep, there's the gen. So I'll probably get a 2K here. This map is kind of rough, especially with the perks that we have. I know where he's going, so let's just predict movement. See if we can get there in a good time. Did not actually mean to summon a dire crow there, to be honest. Where are we going, buddy? Yeah, I guess we have to break this. I was wondering that he would mess up with that, but he did not. Another god palette, yeah. I mean, this is why RPD is so good for survivors, even if most survivors don't understand how to play them. Let's be real. Can I get this hit? Probably not. They can body block it. And then the cooldown is pretty significant. And I think this doesn't even hit. No, it does. And that'll be a 3-man out. Honestly, though, I'm not exactly too upset about that match. With that being said, GG, well played to these survivors. And can we give another shout out to the TTV? We much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's go give them a GG well played in just a moment. Also check if they have a VOD. They do. Fantastic. All right. Drop and follow. And a GG well played. Always here. To support other DBD streamers. I hope that you have a great night / stream. Good luck as well.
I can't find it.
Well, because you think my I is an L when in fact the I is an I.
Always here to support the DBD streams. Hope that you have a great night / stream. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And also I appreciate the lurk as well.
Anytime.
I appreciate it.
Alright. Alright, so let's do a quick readout. Agitation plus Scourge Hooks. I don't think that's necessary. I think most times you're gonna run Scourge Hook. You wanna run it on a smaller map. And committing 2 perks to just the Scourge Hook, probably not what you want. Her lore is so sad. I'll do a full readout and upload to YouTube. But let's do this. Let me prep for the readout of the perks. So let's do this. The artist. And did I just get bits? I did get bits. Thank you much for the bits, Pizza Duffy. I appreciate it, mate. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And welcome to the Guilty Ones. GG's good artist. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Fermina Mora. Alright, well, let's do a readout of her perks. In the meanwhile, let's set that up. I do need to take off my camera and assets, though, as well as the chat box while we do the readout. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons, apparently. Bring this up after we ready up, I suppose, because queue times are going to be atrocious. All right. So, with the addition of Chapter 22, the artist has been added to Dead by Daylight. And not only might they be one of the best killers in the game, but they've also brought some really unique perks to the table. First off and foremost, they have brought the perk Grim Embrace, which states as follows. Your active servitude to the entity has not gone unnoticed. Each time a survivor is hooked for the first time, Grim Embrace gains a token. Upon reaching 4 tokens, Grim Embrace activates. The entity blocks all generators for 30 seconds. The aura of the obsession is revealed to you for 4 seconds. Are we nothing but prisoners to our sorrow? Secondly, probably one of my favorite additions to the game is Scourge Hook Pain Residence. And we are looking at I'm actually gonna have to redo this entire thing. Because I have it on one screen, and I didn't know where my cursor was. Alright, gonna have to redo that. Apologies about that, guys. And thank you for bearing with me as we're, doing some YouTube stuff while we have some time to kill, I suppose. Alright, restart. With Chapter 22 currently available in the PTB, the artist has been added to Dead by Daylight. And not only are they arguably an S-tier killer, but they have brought some really interesting perks to go along with her. First off, we have Grim Embrace, which does as follows. Your active servitude to the entity has not gone unnoticed. Each time a survivor is hooked for the first time, Grim Embrace gains a token. Upon reaching 4 tokens, Grim Embrace activates. The entity blocks all generators for 30 seconds at tier 3. The aura of the obsession is revealed to you for 4 seconds. Are we nothing but prisoners to our sorrow? Secondly, probably one of my favorite perks, and potentially a meta warping perk on top of which, we have Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, which states overwhelming pain reverberates outward. At the start of the trial, 4 random hooks are changed into Scourge Hooks. The auras of Scourge Hooks are revealed to you in white. Anytime a survivor is hooked on a Scourge Hook, the generator with the most progression explodes, instantly losing 15% progression on tier 3 and will start to regress. Survivors repairing the generator will scream, revealing their location. The pain spills beyond flesh and darkness, staining the horizon. One of the things I love about this perk is that it can be combined with Pop Goes the Weasel for a potential 40% regression on the most progressed gen, which equates to roughly 32 seconds of gen time. So not to be overlooked, to say the least. Finally, though, we have Hex Pentimento, where as it will say, you reveal the true power of the totems hidden within the remains. You see the auras of cleansed totems. You can perform a ritual of a cleansed totem to resurrect it as a rekindled totem. The most rekindled totems you create, the greater their effects. On one totem, reduces the repair speed of all survivors by 30%, better than 4 stacks of Thanatophobia. 2 totems reduce the healing speed of all survivors by 30%, better than the mangle status effect given by Sloppy Butcher. 3 totems reduces the recovery speed of all survivors by 30%. We have nothing to compare that to. And 4 totems reduces the gate opening speed of all survivors by 30%, like a better Remember Me. And last but not least, when all 5 totems have been rekindled, all totems are blocked by the entity. When a rekindled totem is cleansed, its remains are consumed by the entity. Though a pentimento is inherently concealed piece of art, there is something to be said of the desires to discover that which is beyond. These are honestly some really, really cool perks, and I'm excited to show you a build with Hex Pentimento when combined with Hex Plaything and Hex Retribution, so definitely make sure to keep an eye out for that as well. Alright, well that was our quick little readout. Gotta ask you something, but you have to think about it, so tell me when you're ready. What's up? Do you want the timestamp? Yes, please, Draft. That'd be appreciated. Otherwise, I can just drop a stream marker. So let me do that as well, actually. Before I do forget. Wait, does Remember Me stack with Pentimento? Yes, it would stack. That would stack. That is correct. So you know Leary's Memorial, like the inside map with the snowy gates? Yes, I do, Frostboy. What about it? Yeah, what is, how much value does Remember Me give you? Hold up. Is it better than Remember Me? Remember Me. 4 seconds per token. Every time you hit a obsession with a basic attack, and is there max to a maximum of several seconds. So any time both X gates increase by 4 seconds per token up to a maximum of several seconds. It doesn't tell you what that means. Theoretically speaking, if it's 4 seconds per token, 24 seconds, I mean, it's better than Remember Me if you just never transfer the obsession to a maximum of 16 seconds. Oh yeah, that's far better. That is far better. Then remember me, holy hell. So someone took a hit while I'm on the inside. Do I have time to run outside into the gate if it's open and live? What do you mean? Are you talking about like if you're in main Leary's and you get hit? I mean, depends on the situation and who you're going against. I feel like they would have time to catch up. Not necessarily. Not always. It depends on the killer. And depends on what resources they have between the exit gate and where the survivor got hit. Killer's outside? Like at the exit gate? So I took a hit while I'm on the inside. I'm inside, they get hit. Can I run to gate? I'm inside, they take a hit. I run the gate. I mean, for the most part, if they take a hit that close to the exit gate, then yeah, they'll get out. I'm a bit confused by the question overall, not gonna lie. Flat additions of Remember Me and percentage of Pentimento. Well, Pentimento is 30%. So we take a look in that regard. Let's take a look, see. DVD survivors. How long does a gate take? So we need to figure that out. Exit gates. So it takes powering. Takes 20 seconds to open. So if it takes 20 seconds to open plus 30%, it brings up to 26. So realistically speaking, okay, so I guess it's a 6 second increase, which is worse than Remember Me. So that's something to keep in mind. So it's actually a worse Remember Me. Can I send you a clip to this chat? You can't send it here, you can send it on Discord, but you can't send it here. Also, we do have another TTV to shout out. Thank you. Question is, it counts percentage from OG speed? Ooh, that's a good question. I think it would be in addition to, which means 20 plus 16, and then plus 30%. You could make the exit gate takes 46 seconds with Hex Pentimento if you ran Remember Me, because it should work that way. It's 30% longer, so it's a penalty. And if it increases per second with Remember Me, then it would take additional 30 seconds on top of the additional seconds added. That's mean. That's a bit mean. I mean, I guess, honestly though, I think if you're going to run that, you're going to want to run Hex Pentimento, Hex Retribution, Hex Plaything, and finally Remember Me. I think No Way Out might be a bit much because you need them to cleanse the totems in the first place. So I don't think you'd be able to run No Way Out, but Remember Me you probably could as a 4th perk in that slot. That's interesting. That is interesting. Also, how'd you guys like the readout? Was it good? We're on Midwich, you say. Okay, interesting. I'll probably be uploading that to YouTube and TikTok tonight. So let's do this. No one there, so probably upstairs. Nope, they were literally right in front of me. Go figure. Interesting. I didn't feel like it went through anything, but apparently it did. I love how I changed targets, and I was able to additionally hit there. That's fantastic. And we apply pros here, we injure, and I think we can get an immediate down. Watch this. Okay, I messed up there ever so slightly. I mean, it's not like they're in a good spot anyways. This is a horrible pallet. I don't think so. I think it's only on collision. We'll check the description later, but I'm pretty sure it's only collision that stops it. We hit someone there. Perfect. But we do see you. get a hit here. Distance and collision? I'll have to double check that. Say one downstairs. Not even. That's so mean. That is so mean. Are they gonna move the second stage as well? Yeah, they did. You see someone's there, perfect. I actually don't know where they went. They may have went into a locker. Hold up. Looky, looky! I got a cookie! Fantastic. Let's put you on a scourge hook. I like how they also let that first person die on first hook. Fantastic teammates. Excellent. Back down. Hi, how are you? Let's do this. Let's not hit. Let's actually injure here. There's the injure. And that way we actually keep our distance. Like in tight hallways like this, if you get into their back, you could just injure them this way. Interesting. See, I don't know why that one didn't count as an injure. Like, I actually have no explanation. Versus that one that did. I have no explanation for that. Maybe it is distance, but I can't say with certainty. I guess I should check if you have decisive. I doubt you do on the new survivor, but you never know. Maybe they got lucky at the blood web. And then I think the last survivor was upstairs. The crow stayed in place while he ran out of range, maybe. And that is a thought. She's just so good, though. Can I actually hit you with crows while you're on the ground? No, I cannot. But, like, the amount of lethality she has is kind of ridiculous. And the fact that you can just kind of change who you're chasing but still get an injury in that same moment is bonkers. It really is so ridiculous. Can you make Crow hit off a decisive strike? What do you mean hit off a decisive? You can hit them with a Crow, but it doesn't deactivate decisive strike, no. And them trying to get crows off them would also not deactivate decisive either. But with that being said, GG, well played to these survivors. Do you want to give another shout out to Queen? If they are live, would be much appreciated. I can say sorry, because that was a bit of a rough match for them, methinks. Just a little bit. Grab their VOD too while I'm at it.
E.
Got the follow.
ILDSPIRE.
Whoa.
Always here to support
Oh.
other DVD streamers.
Geeky. Oh, wait.
I hope that you have
Oh my god, wait.
a great
Oh my
night
god.
slash
Hey guys.
stream. Leave alert
Thanks
as well.
for the follow, Geeky, and I'm gonna say Guilt. Guilt
You
Spire.
are correct.
I hope I'm saying that right. I don't know.
Oh, I already follow you?
But thank you guys. Wait. Were you the killer? Because I was. I didn't
I
look.
was.
I always look, but I like
Killer.
backed out.
Yes.
Always here to support other DVD streamers. I hope that you have a great night slash stream. Thank you. Like, he was literally spelling out your name, and I was searching, and then I heard my notification popped up, and I was like, wait, what?
Wait 1
Like,
second.
I was gonna look you up. I was gonna go and follow you.
I mean, you can
I'll
still
definitely
do
follow
so
after
if you want.
stream. I always follow people back, even if they're not, like, streamers or anything like that. I'm like, well, hey, let me be your first follower kind of thing.
Aww.
Guys?
I will remind
They
her
seem
if she
really,
is-
really nice.
Hey, I am older than you by 3 months.
If you haven't already, then make sure to stop on by and say hi. Plays a crow near pickup for them, but immediately to get swarmed after they get off the shoulder. You could do that, yeah. You probably could do that. That's actually kind of nasty. I didn't think about that, but I think you could. I think you could do that right. You're correct. What other content could I record while we're streaming? I guess I could try to do the lore. Since we already queued up, we could probably do it next queue. Because I want to say we're looking at 8 minutes of lore readout, more likely than not. Yeah, probably 8 minutes of lore readout. More likely than not. Yeah, it's pretty chunky. It's about the same size as Michaela, I would say. Yeah, it seems about the same size as Michaela. Just trying to see where the paragraphs kind of are, because I like to try and scroll nicely when I'm reading, so that way you guys can read along if you want during the Lore by Daylight, which is easier said than done. Okay, yeah, it's about 8 minutes, I'd say. And then immediately snipe them by seeing swarm location. I think you could do that, yes, right. I'm pretty sure you could. I almost want to do another readout of her perks, knowing the interaction with the second part of Hex Pentimento, if remember me. I am kind of tempted to do another readout. I mean, she's just such a good killer. I'm trying to think. So if they were to tune her in any way, shape, or form, I think the way in which they would need to do so is probably less than the time in which you can keep the Dire Crows up. Because they stay idle for, I think, like 4 or 5 seconds, give or take, but you can extend the time by placing more. So that'd be my only thought process without them nerfing her into, like, the ground. Maybe that, and also limit the range, but I think the range is one of her big benefits. Also, I want to read this real quick. I guess we could do, you know what, we could do a power readout. Power readout's not a bad idea. And my ooh-woos, thank you much for the follow. Welcome to the Guilty Ones, my friend. I am Mark, aka Guiltspire. I'm an educational Dead by Daylight player here to teach ghosts of Play Killer and survivors how to play against Killer. Very happy to have you here. Yeah, I guess we should do a power readout, shouldn't we? Wasn't able to follow earlier. Hello, GG, my friend, GG. If I did kill you, I apologize. This killer seems so strong. Oh, actually, I remember. We were on the new map against you with Hamdam, who is actually someone who I know, but I know that you were in Swift with them. It was a random circumstance. I think you guys still got like a 1-man out that game? Yeah, if I remember correctly. I think that's a 1-man out. I think it was the Nonce. She was able to escape. Escape the fate of death. That was a coincidence? Yes, it was. Because I knew who Hamdam was, and I saw you were TTV. We always give shoutouts to other TTVs. And I think I dropped a follow, right? Did I? Pretty sure I did, right? Yes, I already followed. I did. Perfect. It was Fang? Oh, it's Fang? I knew it was someone, I just forgot who. I think we'll do another readout. I want to do a readout of her power. I think I want to do another readout of her perks as well. Understanding how Remember Me will probably interact with Hex Pentimento. What do I think of her? She is S tier. Read over the power, just see. Oh yeah, thank you. I was going to do that anyways, but I also want to do a readout. She's so fun to loop. She's really fun to loop as, I imagine very fun to loop against, and a very powerful killer. Like, straight up S-tier killer, at least solid A, but I'm going to say probably, like, better than Spirit S. Let's see. From a wellspring of internal agony comes a swarm of darkness, a wild and ferocious murder of ink black crows. Excuse me. Press and hold the power button to charge Birds of Torment. Once fully charged, tap the attack button to summon a dire crow. You can repeat the action quickly by continuously holding down the power button and tapping the attack button again. When at least one dire crow is summoned, it stays idle for a limited time, roughly, I think, 5 seconds, give or take. Spawning a new dire crow, extend the time previously spawned by dire crows staying idle. Tap the ability button to propel the dire crows into flight. Dire crows can inflict damage for a short duration when flying. Okay, so for a short distance. You are right. So it is a short distance. Dang, you think so? Can't wait to see her once people learn her. I have only played maybe, 5 games of her, and I feel very comfortable with her. And I think your game might be one of the few where people actually survived. I think there was maybe 2 matches in total that didn't result in a 4K. Out of the 5 so far. But she's very strong, and we're just using, like, tier 1 perks right now. But you are right, it is a short distance. Yeah, so the purple white bar you see when you are placing crows is the injured distance. Oh! That's a smart thought. Which does... So I guess it's good to injure at loops. And you can even in chase... You know what might be smart for her? You know what might be smart for her is to almost treat her like Huntress in those moments, where if you're in the back of a survivor, you could put down the dire crow, hit them for an injure, not lose distance, and then hit down. That might be a play, because we did do that last match. Her W sounds lethally disgusting annoying. Yeah, she's very strong, because we've been doing like cross map hits too, and splitting up pressure too. Why are you mad, Frostboy? Once the dire crow continues to pass the flight path, it will no longer inflict damage, but can now pass through any obstacle and reveal nearby survivors using Killer Instinct. In this phase, dire crows will create a swarm around survivors they hit, allowing the killer to see the swarms or on the survivors. Survivors can repel the swarm by completing the repel action or entering a locker. Interesting, did not know that second half. During this time, the swarm's aura is not shown to the killer. A survivor being swarmed will receive damage if hit by a second dire crow. Has built-in lethal. He just shoots crows at gens and CSA as well. It's so good! It's just built-in lethal pursuer. Or I can get an early injury if it? Yes, you can. I can say with certainty that you can. Because if survivors are just not repelling the crows right away, then she's just super strong. And it takes roughly 10 seconds to repel the crows. It's about this hilarious match. The streamer said I could have escaped, but the ghosty mind game, so he wouldn't have hit me first. He even showed the video, but because he has more time in the game, he thinks he's right. Yeah, unfortunately, people equate to if I have X time in the game, then I am right. It's kind of stupid. He said the video evidence, but he was still wrong. Yeah. I don't know. I would just recommend disengaging conversation with him. Them. Don't want to assume gender, though he did say he, so I guess I could in that situation. Just disengage conversation. There's no reason to, you know, make yourself frustrated. He banned you. Interesting. Yeah, I think that overall just is demonstrating that they are not a TTV that you want to interact with. Point blank statement. That would be my opinion in that moment. If they're going to ban you for disagreeing with them, though if you were spamming or whatnot, maybe it justified a timeout at the very least. But yeah, I don't know. I think the argument's been a moot point. You died, you died. Oh well. It is what it is. All right, so after this, we're going to do a readout of her power. We're going to do a secondary readout of her perks because I have more thoughts on the perks, especially Hex Pentimento now. And then I want to do, at some point, a readout of her lore on stream. That way I can kind of have everything set up for YouTube, so I don't have to spend extra time tonight, since the queue times are long enough. I'm so sorry to hear that, Steam. If it's really that bad, go to the ER now. Like, call up a friend, get family to take you. You know, don't go yourself. If the pain is that bad and it's that sudden, I would recommend going to the ER. Like, no doubt. All right, so that check. Good to note. They got the crows off them, which is fine. Hello, my friend. Oh, we'll get the hit there. There's the killer instinct. Hey, buddy. Sorry to tell you, but that was not the right idea. No flashlight. Sorry to tell you, but that ain't gonna work. Hello! How are you? Let's get 9% off a gen. Perfect. Looks like Jars went out, unfortunately. Heard a boon totem. That must be Shadow Step. Like, what do you do there? It's just so impossible to loop against her in that scenario. It really is. Perfect, so we know where they are. Let's get you out. Hey, buddy. Okay, so I was hoping to get a hit there. They kind of ran awkwardly. Now, I do want to be mindful that they might have the Unbreakable one. So let's pick up now. Like I said, at the end of the day, if you see a boon totem nowadays, I think you just need to assume exponentials in play. Set up for this hit. You don't even need to. Never mind. Alright. I mean, you could run exponential and chest step for sure. Absolutely. I'm gonna try and see where they're going. Alright, they're getting people up, that's fine. Let's go for you, I think. Hi there. How are you? Don't mind me. Just gonna smack you right in the face. Why wipe off my own weapon when I can have my bird do it instead? It's just so mean. I love that I can see the obsession. Oh, that's nasty. That is nasty. Alright, I see them right here on the pallets. Let's set up. They take the hit, and I do not take the stun. Perfect. Alright, we set up for a hit no matter what. They can't exactly do much now. Like I said, why wipe off my own weapon when I can, you know, have my bird do it for me? Right? Ridiculous. I'm feeling more and more comfortable with this killer. It's so good. Let's find out. Nothing there. I do kind of want to get rid of this boom. Won't lie. I also think I saw someone right there to my left. Survivor. Aw, they left. Now, why would you go and do that? I hear you. Where are you gonna go now? Okay. Alright, he's doing a smart thing, which is just leaving every time. He's definitely doing a smart thing here. Unfortunately for you, I'm just a wee bit smarter. Alright, up you go. There's one. Excellent. No, I can't get that there. Alright, there we go. Perfect. Now we have information on location. Alright, up you go. And let's put you on a Scourge Hook. Yeah, the information that you get from the Swarm 2 is just so good. Honestly. There we go. Perfect. We got the Injure as well. Even better. Where you at, bud? Like, I don't know. I think if anyone competent around their powers playing against you, I feel like it's basically the equivalent of playing against a nurse. Like, you're playing against a good nurse with a little less mobility, but better anti-loot. Like, that's kind of how it is. There is more counterplay to this killer than there is nurse, but it's still so rough. It really is. Also, it looks like they did break a totem so we can get some Hex Pentimento value. Get, basically, Thanatophobia active. There it is. Keep that there for a moment. Excellent. We didn't get the hit. As someone that I predicted their movement well enough. Let's see. Scratch marks back here. Yeah, so, going against her in a corner, if you end up in a corner against her, pretty much insta-death. Don't go in a corner against her. It's just as bad as Plague. Yeah, don't do that. That would be my recommendation. It is basically insta-death. Like, there is very little that you can do in that moment. I get a feeling that these survivors might not be doing much. Also, did they get rid of my Rekindled Totem? I think they must have. Okay, I think my Hex Pentimento has expired. so let's see what we do here. I mean, you either get hit or you get hit. Long story short there. Perfect. We're queued up now. And once again, you either get hit or you get hit. Like, there's so little you can do. Alright, now, Atomy boy, what say you? Let's see if maybe you're on that ship. Nope. No, we're on gens. Did I hear him? I could have sworn I just heard breathing. Maybe I was wrong, though. See if we just randomly find them by shooting it out. I mean, there's no reason not to, right? But with that being said, GG, well played to these survivors. Definitely a bit of a rough situation. Alright. Well, let's fix the phase cam, shall we? Because that did indeed end up freezing. Perfect. Alright, so in that case, let's set up for another readout of her power. Let's do that. The artist. Carmina Mora. Artist perks. Let's disable face cam and chat, and we'll do a full readout once again. See if I like this one better. Let's ready up. Let's do this. And last but not least, let's do this. All right. With Chapter 22 currently available in the PTB, the artist has been added to Dead by Daylight. Not only is she potentially an S-tier killer, but she has brought some very interesting and powerful perks along with her. First off, we have Grim Embrace, which states, your act of servitude to the entity has not gone unnoticed. Each time a survivor is hooked for the first time, Grim Embrace gains a token. Upon reaching 4 tokens, Grim Embrace activates. The entity blocks generators for 30 seconds, and the aura of the obsession is revealed to you for 4 seconds as well. Are we nothing but prisoners to our sorrow? Next up is a very interesting perk to me, and honestly, potentially a new meta perk alongside Pop Goes the Weasel. We have Scourge Hook Pain Resonance. Overwhelming pain reverberates outwards. At the start of the trial, 4 random hooks are changed into Scourge Hooks. The aura of Scourge Hooks are revealed to you in white. Anytime a survivor is hooked on a Scourge Hook, the generator of the most progression explodes, instantly losing 15% progression and will start to regress. Survivors repairing that generator will scream, revealing their location. The pain spills beyond flesh and darkness, staining the horizon. The reason why I am so high on this perk is that in conjunction with Pop Goes the Weasel, you can theoretically regress a gen by 40%. That equates to 32 seconds of gen time wasted by those survivors. And even better yet, Scourge Hook Pain Resonance has no cooldown, so if you have 2 survivors on the ground, you can hook them back to back for 30% regression on the most progressed gen. Utterly insane. Finally, we have Hex Pentimento, which, when you can reveal the power of the totems, and I botched it. God dang it! I can probably splice that one. Like, it's so hard to transition into you reveal the true power, right? I see the tag education, so I'm hoping to be taught how to get a 4K 7 seconds after the match starts, so teach. With the new killer, you can get some pretty close stuff. But how you doing? Looking for Steve. Thank you much for stopping by, saying hi. Would love to have Here's Party Guilty ones if you are interested. As you mentioned, I am indeed an educational Dead by Daylight player, here to teach ghosts how to play killer and survivors how to play against killer. Very happy to have you here. But we're currently doing some readouts for our YouTube, so let me restart a Grim Embrace. All right, let's go again. Let me take a sip of water. With Chapter 22 currently available in the PTB, and the artist being added as the next killer, she not only is a potential S-tier killer, but also has brought some very powerful perks to the table. First off, we have Grim Embrace. Your act of servitude to the entity has not gone unnoticed. Each time a survivor is hooked for the first time, Grim Embrace gains a token. Upon reaching 4 tokens, Grim Embrace activates. The entity blocks all generators for 30 seconds in Tier 3, and the aura of the obsession is revealed to you for 4 seconds. Are we nothing but prisoners to our sorrow? In a very similar way, kind of like a Thrilling Tremors, but arguably better. There's some really interesting ways to use this perk, and some unsavory ways to use it as well, but we'll show that off later down the road. Next up, we have Scourge Hook Pain Resonance, and I am so high on this perk when used in conjunction with Pop Goes the Weasel. Overwhelming pain reverberates outwards. At the start of the trial, 4 random hooks are changed into Scourge Hooks. The auras of Scourge Hooks are revealed to you in white, and anytime a survivor is hooked on a Scourge Hook, the generator with the most progression explodes, instantly losing 15% progression in Tier 3, and will start to regress. Survivors repairing that generator will scream, revealing their location. The pain spills beyond flesh and darkness, staining the horizon. So the cool thing about this is that in conjunction with Pop Goes the Weasel, you can theoretically regress a generator by 40%. That equates to a total of 32 seconds on a generator that is lost to the survivors. On top of which, there is no cooldown for this perk, so if you have 2 survivors slugged out and Scourge Hooks nearby, you could get 30% with Scourge Hook Pain Resonance by itself. Finally, we have Hex Pentimento. You reveal the true power of the totems hidden within the remains. You see the auras of cleansed totems. You can form a ritual on a cleansed totem to resurrect it as a Rekindled totem. The more Rekindled totems you create, the greater their effects. 1 totem reduces the repair speed of all survivors by 30%, better than maxed out Thanatophobia. 2 totems reduces the healing speed of all survivors by 30%, better than the mingled stats effect given by Sloppy Butcher. 3 totems reduces the recovery speed of all survivors by 30%. 4 totems reduces the gate opening speed of all survivors by 30% as well. In conjunction with maxed out Remember Me, this gets a little bit insane. A exit gate normally takes 20 seconds to open. With maxed out Remember Me, you're looking at an additional 16 seconds, totaling out at 36. That then will stack with an additional 30% penalty. I believe that gets close to 48 seconds on an exit gate. So if you really want to be mean, you can run Hex Pentimento with Remember Me, but there's a build that I think it even is going to show even better than anywhere else. Finally though, if all 5 totems are rekindled, all totems are blocked by the entity. When a Rekindled totem is cleansed, its remains are consumed by the entity. Though a pentimento is an inherently concealed piece of art, there is something to be said of the desire to discover that is which is beyond. The really cool thing about this is that if you use it in conjunction with stuff like Hex Plaything, Hex Retribution, and Remember Me, you can have a very, very mean lethal build with a ton of penalties and really just slows down the survivor's progress to a complete halt. With that being said, these are the 3 perks coming with the artist on roughly, our estimation, November 30th. So definitely keep an eye out for some of these unique builds that can be worked, that these perks can be worked into. Hope you enjoy. All right, Jesus Christ, that was a bit longer. This comes out November 30th. Yes, that's the estimated time frame. We don't have an exact time frame, but yes. How was that? Do you think that was better than the original? Did you like the original more? Do you think I should rerun that one? What are your thoughts? All the perks being removed to be fixed, then 300,000 blood points. I mean, it's normally, so in the PTB right now, they're working perfectly fine. Honestly, I'm not seeing many bugs currently in the PTB, which is amazing. The problem is, obviously, when it comes out to console, that's normally when you see more and more bugs come out, which could prove to be unfortunate. What were your thoughts? I think it was better than original, gives more perk idea builds, and corrects the remember me comment. Yes. I did kind of stumble a few times in my wording, but I think not like a clean thing is fine. I think, you know, obviously could go again to try and do a full clean one, but I don't really mind too much having a few trip ups. I'm human after all. I get tongue-tied when saying so many words and reading with dyslexia. My queue time has been freaking atrocious, though. All right. I guess while we're here, we might as well do a readout of this. Let's do that real quick. Whiff! God dang it, Dead by Daylight. Son of a... All right, well, we'll do that later. Oh... let's throw another blood point offering. As we'll go into our blood web as well. Hysteria's big ol' now. And overall presence, equally a big old man. All right, we do have a spot for a fourth perk if you really want. I guess I could go with Thanatophobia. Might as well. Yeah, let's just do Thanatophobia. Why not?
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the new map? I like it. Main building's very strong if you know how to loop it. Even stronger if you have balanced landing or life. So I do like main building. Otherwise, the size is roughly the size of Ormond, maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe about ARP size, as far as like length is concerned. So I don't mind it. I think that it definitely is a bit more survivor-sided than killer-sided, but that's okay. You know, we've had some good killer maps recently, though I guess RPD does not count as that. That's very survivor-sided too. But I like it. I think it has some pretty good variety, and it reminds me so much of a freaking Dark Souls layout that I absolutely love it. Like, aesthetically, love it. I love what seems to be like a Dark Souls inspiration for this chapter. At least that's what I've gotten out of it. It really feels Dark Souls-esque, and I'm A-okay with that. Oh my god, I've been talking so much that normally my jaw does not get tired anymore, but it's starting to. Speaking of the new map, excellent. Let's get our, you know, our built-in lethal pursuer going. So 1, 2, 3. Nothing. Cool. Let's check over here. Hey, there we go. So 2 in check. Let's set up here. Perfect. Oh, please go around the full corner. Please go around the full corner. Oh, I think it was still too much distance. That's my mistake. I should have put it in deeper. That's unfortunate, but not the end of the world. Yeah, you should not have done that right there. No reason to stay still. So I think that's something that you're gonna have to get used to as this killer, is knowing the flight distance in order to get the injure. Can't wait to try out the new killer. She's so good. And Queens, thank you much for the follow. Welcome to the Guilty Ones, my friend. Let's see if we can predict distance. May have been a little bit too ahead of them. But we do see Yui. There's an add-on that makes the survivors oblivious. I think that might be very good if you know how to, like, long-range hit them. Wait, that's Shaq? Yes, that is Shaq. And GG, Queen, GG. Now let's bring in a Scourge Hook. I want to get my 9% regression. Alright, let's see. Look at that, we do. Good stuff. He's not moving too much. I think we get the hit here. Nope. Yeah, the fact that it's just cross map where you can potentially get that, it's so ridiculous. So strong. I'm gonna let that despawn, I think. Where'd she go? There she is. Perfect. We'll get the hit. Good job, not falling for it, but I think we still go down here. Nope, dead hard. Of course it's dead hard. Why wouldn't it be a dead hard? It is Dead by Daylight after all. Another 9% off of the generator with the most progress. Alright, looks like they're off of it. I think they went to the left then. Is ink on the floor there because of the killer? No, it's just a aesthetic piece of the map. Let's set up for the unhook as well. Usually a good idea. Oh, it didn't hit either one of them. That's odd. Dead hard tells me you don't have anything. Oh, you do. Look at you. You're actually a cheeky bugger. I like that. Normally you don't, if you see the dead hard, it means they don't have BT, but they mind game that. Good stuff. Now, I do think if you're doing stuff like that, I feel like you might have Decisive Strike. Ooh, you know what? We could do a quick little tech. So let's do this. So then we do this. If she Decisive Strikes me, then she ends up in the bird. But she doesn't have Decisive Strike, so it doesn't matter. That works too. Try to guess if he was going to go to the right. I think he did. Yep, he did. I think I can let that despawn. I don't think I was going to get a hit there. So there's a God Pallet right here. Very strong. Alright, we got the hit there. Fantastic. Able to mind game that real quick. Hey, buddy. Another God Pallet, but can get mind gamed. And a good old down. I mean, she just feels so good. I don't think I can get him to a Scourge Hook, unfortunately. So let's just hook you. Some info. Doesn't look like they're on any of these gens. Okay. There's a Yui. I see a Yui. We got the hit. Might be able to get an injure now. Unfortunately not, because she went upstairs. If she went for the window, I think I would have had it. Alright, more crows on her. I think we can get the hit. I don't know why he mid-vaulted that, though. Have I seen the broken basement on this map? I have not, no. And there we go, perfect. I do want to get her to a Scourge Hook, though. I do need to get some gen regression. This one does not look different. Apparently, this one's pretty much the same as most basements. No dice there. Looks like you ran off to the right. David, there we are, bud. Alright, we'll let that one despawn, methinks. No reason not to there. Alright, get him swarmed. And there's the down, love it. That Santaction thing glitched on top of the basement, so you can't really see there's basement there. Ooh, I did not know that was a thing. Interesting. I have to look out for that. They were here. See scratch marks. Fantastic. Down. And then immediate Scourge Hook again. So another 9% off the gem. And that there is Death Grip. Fantastic. So we see where David is. Excellent. Oh, David, me boy. Looks like he must have jumped off. Or jumped down before I got there. David. Where you going? You do be a running. Honestly, maybe chasing me is a bad idea here, to be honest. So let's do this. Do that. Looks like they're healing. Also, do we have any hexes that they've broken or any totems? I don't think so. There we go. I see you. So even if she gets all the crows off her, I'm going to try and hit her this way. There's the injure, so now we don't lose distance. Yeah, I think if you can take the time to do so, that might be the way to play this. Does he have Dead Heart? Hey, David, how are you, buddy? Yeah, so you just want to treat it like Huntress. Like, you need to know the exact distance to make it work. Interesting. Alright, Killer Instincts. We know roughly where she is. Let's prime those. We got 2. Perfect. Can we predict the hit? You might be able to. I think someone's going to shack. Let's predict that she's at the corner. No dice. But I'm pretty sure they're over here. Hi, Megan. I think not. Unless you have Decisive Strike. That would be your saving grace. Yeah. I mean, you have so much information using these guys. No one there. See scratch marks. Probably David. No clue where he went, though, is the problem. Did I see someone there? No, it's a generator. Generator survivors, very similar, right? hit someone. Perfect. Hello, David, my boy. Let's play a game, shall we? Got the injury. We're literally chasing him, and we predict the hit through the wall. So beautiful. So beautiful. There's just like so many ways to like predict movement and set up traps, basically. Smart. Got caught on that. Unfortunate. I think he may have seen the crow and decided not to loop that way. I mean, honestly, the best thing you could have done in that situation is honestly to have looped into it rather than looping into me. Because you won't get injured on the first one, obviously. Alright, not on gens. No idea where Yui is. And I do not know the spawn locations on this map. But might as well just spawn a few of them. But it looks like Yui is gone. That being said, GG, well played to these survivors. I hate that they made it so it doesn't stop at the player screen anymore. It goes all the way through and then back around. Really obnoxious, actually. Good frickin' stuff. Yeah, every single time I'm just like click, 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 and I'm expecting it to stop, and then it doesn't stop and loops back around like, stop it, please. All right, so in that case, let's do this. Let's grab you, and let's take off the camera and chat box again so we can do our readout. All right, there we go. With Chapter 22 currently available in the PTB, the artist has been revealed, and they have one hell of a power. Birds of Torment. From a wellspring... Let's reset that one. Ba, 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 ba. Words are hard sometimes. Especially when you say a lot of them. All right, let's try again. With Chapter 22 currently available in the PTB, the artist has been revealed, and they have one hell of a power. Birds of Torment. From a wellspring of eternal agony comes a swarm of darkness, a wild and ferocious murder of ink black crows. Press and hold the power button to charge the Birds of Torment. Once fully charged, tap the attack button to summon a dire crow. You can repeat the action quickly by continuously holding the power button and tapping the attack button again. When at least one dire crow is summoned, it stays idle for a limited time, roughly 8 to 10 seconds. Spawning a new dire crow, however, will extend the time the previously spawned dire crow stays idle. Tap the ability button to propel the dire crows into flight. Dire crows can inflict damage for a short distance while flying. This is indicated to the killer by the dire crow's flight path. Once a dire crow continues past the flight path, it will no longer inflict damage, but can now pass through any obstacle and reveal nearby survivors using Killer Instinct. In this phase, dire crows will create a swarm around survivors they hit, allowing the killer to see the swarm's aura on the survivor. The survivor can repel the swarm by completing the repel action or entering a locker. During this time, the swarm's aura is not shown to the killer. At the beginning of a match, this is basically free lethal pursuer. Aim at some gens, let them fly, and you know exactly where the survivors are. A survivor being swarmed will receive damage if hit by a second dire crow, and let me tell you, some of the cross-map shenanigans you can do are utterly insane. But that being said, we are playing some of the artists as we speak for the rest of this week. So definitely make sure to stop on by and say hi at twitch.tv/Guildspire, and watch out on our YouTube for some more The Artist videos. On that note, see you guys later. All right, what do you guys think? Was that a good readout? I think it was. Also, how are you doing today, Vet? Hopefully doing well. That was good? Good. Thought might as well, you know, while the queue times are long, might as well do some YouTubes. Does make sense. Tier 2 Scourge Hook. Lovely stuff. No, I don't know blood points. Unfortunate. Let's see. Do we have any good add-ons to use? I'm well, man. Thank you. Hope games have been good. They've been amazing. I've been loving this PTB. It has been some fun times. Let's see. Darkest Ink. When Diacrose from a survivor, it inflicts them with the blindness status effect. Big meh. Decrease the bird torment cooldown by 1.5 seconds after Diacrose disintegrates from inactivity. Not bad. Decrease bird torment cooldown by 0.5 seconds after Diacrose take flight. Also not bad. New main? Probably not, but man, I'm having fun with them. They are so far up my alley as far as like the strategic and play style that like I have definitely fallen in love with this new killer. Not to mention, they are really, really good in the right hands, which I feel like I've been doing pretty well. Been doing some really nasty things to these poor survivors, which you'll see in some videos later tonight. We'll have a video of 30 minutes of the new killer going up on our YouTube, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Why does she remind me of you? No idea. I mean, to be fair, I was a fan of Edgar Allan Poe. Also, drivers decide to die. Drivers, I'm supposed to sacrifice survivors to the entity, not you sacrifice yourself to the entity. Thank you. All right. Should be good in just a moment. Still Life Crow. Increase the time Dire Crows stay idle before disintegrating. You really don't need that, I don't think. When Dire Crows from a survivor inflicts them with the hindered status effect, kind of meh. When a survivor attempts to repel a Dire Crow, Swarm remains visible for an additional 1.5 seconds, not bad. Increase Dire Crows stay idle for 2 seconds, big meh. Increase Dire Crow's killer instinct detection range by 1.5 meters, big meh. Increase the time for survivors to repel a Dire Crow swarm by 0.5. Increase the length of time a Dire Crow's killer instinct reveals survivor by 1.5, big meh. So right now I think these are probably the best two. I do like the one that applies an oblivious status effect, but I don't think I have that right now. So, I guess we could do a readout of the lore next. We have time for roughly 6 matches. If we're looking at like short queue times, so more looking at like 4 matches with queue times as they stand. And I think the queue times are long enough for us to do a full lore readout. What do you guys think? Do you think it probably takes more than 8 minutes? I was thinking P-head and a little hag mixed. Kind of. I mean, right now, honestly, if I were to compare this killer to any other killer, it would be like Nurse mixed with Huntress. And it's kind of strange. I guess actually you could go a step further, like Nurse mixed with Huntress mixed with Trapper. Because you're able to break the game in a sense that you're able to hit survivors through obstacles. Both injure them, but also, you know, just get information. You can set up traps for survivors to walk through, which could injure them, like Trapper. But you could also simply put the Dire Crows in front of certain areas to injure them, like Huntress. Has turned off the camera stuff before? Yes, absolutely. That would be what I do. That way I don't have a repeat of when I tried to do the power readout. Oh, my word. Need to try and get on the YouTube trains while everyone's still searching up the new killer in the PTB. Put all the good content out there. I'll do some TikTok, some YouTube shorts, then a full video on the killer. Then maybe tomorrow we'll do the survivor. We'll see. Like, I feel like the survivor is a little less lackluster. A little less lackluster. A little more lackluster. There we go. Not a double negative. A little more lackluster in comparison. I think like the killer is the star of this chapter, like no doubt. Speaking of TikTok, I wonder how that last TikTok did. I'm curious. I don't know what's up with the TikTok algorithm. The last one did not do well. Oh well. I found this frickin' play with the trickster so funny though. The trickster must have been so confused at the palette. If you guys haven't already, make sure to stop on by the TikTok and drop a follow there so you can see all the shorts. But you also can see them over on the YouTubes. We do, if we upload to TikTok, we also upload it to YouTube. But depends on your choice. It was so funny to me. It was so good. All right. Where is it? Sort by public. I definitely uploaded it. The hell? Sort by most recent. Where is my shorts? I definitely uploaded it, right? The hell? I was confused. Shorts. Hashtag shorts. Search. Oh. That's so strange I couldn't see it in my normal content. Odd. Odd, odd, odd. Alright. And let's see. Everything looking good. And looks like they're bringing 3 flashlights, so I imagine they're gonna be trying to go for some flashlight saves. Now, I do think you can do some cheeky stuff with the dire crows to where you can afflict them with the swarm and potentially also injure them if you set it up the right way. So that could be interesting to counter flashlight saves / pallet stuns. I actually have some ideas now I think about it. Almost like using the dire crows like trapper traps, where you put it like one behind you, and if they're already swarmed, then you could injure them. If they're not, then also you can potentially injure them pretty quickly. Interesting. Very interesting thoughts, methinks. I do have some thoughts. It looks like there's a high spawn rate for the new map, which makes sense, it's new map. Alright, let's get our free lethal pursuer. So far, nothing. So I imagine they may have spawned to my left then. Nope, they were right there. They just weren't on the gen immediately. This might make it so that survivors do not jump on gens right away because of this. Let's go for Fangmen. I thought he was gonna drop the pallet. If I would have held W there, I think it would have gone the down. Dead hard. Fantastic. Like, what do you do? Sorry, but no. No, stop it. I'm not a muff. I'm not the mythical moth spire that you seek, Bill. That will be an emote soon, though. Because we are getting pretty close to the top of Sophie's list. I'm Michaela. There you go, my dear. Perfect. It's just so brutal. Like, how quick you can down survivors with the artist is kind of ridiculous when you play it right, or they play it wrong. It's just so brutal. You have a boon totem. Hello? Did you unhook yourself, Michaela? I guess I can find out whether or not you have decisive. Oh, I should have done the tech. Oh, DC, that's fine. You do that. You do that. What else is new? You know, DC tech. No DS, just DC. Alright, I want to play this. We're gonna go to Shack, please. Oh no, we're going to here. It's a bit of an eye tile. Like, what do you do here? Oh, I think they may have light burned my Dire Crows. Yeah, I think they did because I did not, was not able to trigger the Dire Crow. Stop that. So annoying, get away. Here you go, another 9%. Killer Instinct, Bill's going upstairs, sure. Alright, well, I have more information on Cheryl than anyone else. There's injury. Cheryl! Where are you going, my girl? We got the hit. And a down. Just so nasty. Like, I can't really say it enough of how ridiculously powerful this killer is in the right hands. Like, if you have the mind to just set up ridiculous things, it just is ridiculous. Like, point blank statement. Okay, you guys are hook bombing, sure. Michaela! Oh, that's in the end, not Michaela. Right, Michaela DC, didn't she? Immediate down. Swing out of the pallet, just to make sure that we don't get stunned. Hey, Bill! How's that gen going? He says pretty good. He says pretty good. Doing someone out? Bill boy. Pretty good, bud. Oh, you went upstairs. I see. I see you, Bill. I'm gonna put a trap there. I don't know where he went, though, is the problem. Literally no clue. Oh, Bill, you obnoxious little twat. Get down there. You're so obnoxious. There's a known issue with this map, for those who don't know, where you can get on top of that gen by dropping down from the middle. Bill, you're going on Scourgehook whether you like it or not. Actually, you might get off my shoulder, in retrospect. Nope, no dice. Unfortunately, Bill's my obsession, so I don't get the reveal, but we do get Death Grip. Death Grip is not bad, honestly. Perfect. I was hoping that you would continue. Abuse to survivors. Look, my name is The Killer. Let's do that. If you either get hit, you get hit. Right? Pretty much how that goes there. Yeah, I would stop that, Bill. There's the hit. But show a little mercy. No mercy! Oh. Cheryl, you're supposed to go down when I say that. When I say no mercy, you're supposed to go down. That's how that works. Because she doubled back to avoid it. I think she gets hit here, right? That hard? Good stuff. I mean, the best case scenario there for her was to light burn the crow, or the dire crow. But other than that, there really wasn't anything she could do. If she didn't have a flashlight, even more so. Hi, Bill. How you doing, bud? Don't mind me, just gonna hook her right here, and then you can go for the unhook if you really want to. No. No mercy! Bye, Bill. Gonna do any Swift when it comes out? Yeah, we will. I love the tree so much. It's so cool. Like, just look at this. No, Billy, you're in the way. Like, just look at this. This is so cool looking. Like, it's just such a cool design. That's why they say it looks so Dark Souls-esque. I love it. Love the bits. Like, look at the exit gate design. Like, everything about it. Just so good. I love it so much. Everything about this map is so fantastic to me. But with that being said, GG, well played to these survivors. And me. How to make art makes sense. I was so confused by the art for the building. I didn't know what it was supposed to be. Yeah. GG's. Oh my god, stop it. I need to just press back. I don't want to press forward anymore. Oh my word. Michaela bring in freaking all, actually only 2 boon perks. Did anyone bring all boon perks? Did no one bring any of the new boon perks? I guess not. Fair enough. What are you hitting them with? What do you mean? Do you mean the crows? The dire crow? What's the weapon called? Dire crow. Otherwise, I don't think her arm has a name. Unlike the wailing bell or stuff like that. I think the crow has a name, but like her hand does not. Let's take a look. No, I think it's just called Dire Crow. Go to cosmetics. Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. Sharp Palette Blade. Oh, okay, cool. So that's like her paintbrush, but sharpened. The absurd edges of reality forge a sharp blade out of the palette knife she once used to paint her murals. Fair enough. Non-conformist dress. And kind of cool design by her own hand. So she made the dress. Interesting. The artist. A tormented artist carrying the guilt for the loss of her brother rises from despair to create surrealist, absurd art. I mean, I would say once you sharpen a palette blade, it's more like a shiv, or a sharp palette blade. Yeah, I'd say it's more like a shiv at that point, or a shank. I guess you shank people with a shiv. So I guess it would be it's a makeshift knife, for lack of a better term. I guess it was already a palette knife, but usually those are pretty dull. Maybe a shiv or a knife, yeah. And you shank people with the shiv. Alright, before we ready up, I guess let's do this. Let's do a readout of our lore. Let's do that, shall we? So there's camera, there's chat box, and let's hope and pray that we have enough time. I'm trying to think. How did I open up with lore by daylight? I actually don't know. I want to check that. How did I open up with lore by daylight for Michaela? I want to check. YouTube. Is she on her toes? Her back foot at least. I don't know about her front foot. Let's find out. Nope, just her back foot. So it looks like she's primed and ready to attack. But that's only that one. Alright, let's go to YouTube's. And let's see. Lore by daylight. How do I open with this? Hello, YouTube. YouTube. Michaela Reed was. Okay, I just opened up with the start. Okay. Let's do this then. Let's ready up. Let's do this. And let's do a full readout, shall we? Carmina Mora was a gifted artist who carried the guilt of her younger brother's death. Growing up a rugged coastal village in southern Chile, she sketched the sublime landscapes of Patagonia. Sitting outside her painted dramatic fjords while feeding the crows nested in the trees next to the house. God dang it, why would it not scroll? That's so annoying. That's so frustrating. I was scrolling down like, why is it not scrolling? Why is it not scrolling? Why is it not scrolling? Carmina Mora was a gifted artist who carried the guilt of her young brother's death. Growing up a rugged coastal village in southern Chile, she sketched the sublime landscapes of Patagonia. Sitting outside, she painted dramatic fjords while feeding the crows nested in the tree next to the house. She grew up carrying the guilt of her mother's sudden departure. Her father blamed Carmina for her mother's abandonment, which added to her grief. She became the caretaker of Matthias, her little brother, despite her being a child herself. A year later, Carmina was painted with Matthias outside when the telephone rang. Her father remained in the yard, drinking his beer. Carmina rushed to the house to answer the phone and hung up a few seconds later. When she returned outside, Matthias was nowhere to be seen. She asked her father, but he had paid no attention to Matthias as she called her brother's name, looking for him everywhere. While searching, she saw a bright red coat floating on the narrow creek by the house, Matthias's jacket. She jumped into the creek and found him floating on the surface with vacant eyes, unblinking. He had fallen and drowned. Her screams tore the sky. Her father found Carmina sobbing on the creek's shore, clutching her brother's body in her arms. Surrounded by a murder of crows, her father snatched Matthias's body away from her, and she cried until her voice broke. The following morning, the world was cloaked in darkness. Her father did not say a word because he did not have to. Carmina knew it was all her fault. Months passed, yet her loss was as fresh as a morning dew. Crippled with self-loathing, she could no longer paint. Without Matthias, life had no meaning. On the bleak morning of Matthias's birthday, Carmina walked to a narrow bridge several blocks away from home. She was convinced that nothing could bring her relief. Her mother was gone, her brother was dead, and her father blamed her for all of it. She was convinced that she had nothing left to live for. Carmina walked to the railing of the bridge that stood over the turbulent river. Locals had nicknamed the spot Death Leap. Several cars drove by Carmina, but none stopped. No one seemed to care. She climbed over the railing and her legs wobbled as she stood on the lip of the bridge. She looked down, watching the fierce river smash into a giant boulder. She closed her eyes. See you soon, Matthias. Suddenly, a cacophony of caws filled the sky. Carmina opened her eyes and saw a black cloud of feathers flying towards her. The cloud split open and glossy black crows dove from the sky. One landed on her shoulder and stared intently into Carmina's eyes, as if peering into her soul. Her grip on the railing loosened and the crow cawed raucously. Carmina stared at the crow, confused. Another crow landed on the railing, then another. Soon, a flock of crows were covering the railing of the bridge, staying close to her. She felt their heavy stare on her, calculative and enigmatic, as if they were assessing her. She looked down for a second, and a thunder of caws interrupted her dark impulse. The crows seemed to care about her well-being. As she dangled over the edge with the wind blowing through her raven hair, Carmina felt akin to them. For the first time since Matthias had died, Carmina did not feel alone. She returned home, giving life another chance. The crows left Carmina, suspected that if anything happened to her, they would return. Inspired by her ordeal, Carmina picked up a brush. In the weeks that followed, she painted her experience using black ink to depict the death leap with a black cloud of feathers, the murder of crows that saved her life. The experience was transformative and launched her signature black ink surrealist art. After several years, some color pierced the darkness, and the shift of medium expanded her art form. She painted large-scale murals on busy street corners, designed for grandiose costumes, and recited militant poetry. Carmina's art displayed local, intimate tragedies on a large scale, making them impossible to ignore. And everywhere she performed, crows followed. Her performances grew bold and drew the attention of artists who found her style invigorating. She grew close to a group of painters who understood her icognate vision. What is that word? Can I ask you guys right now? Iconoclastic? Iconoclastic? Is that right? Man, they decided to throw the freaking thesaurus at this lore piece, didn't they? I'm gonna have to probably reread this. But man, they threw the thesaurus at a few of these. I say iconoclastic, that's what I'm thinking, yeah, iconoclastic. But trying to read that for the first time is a big meh. Like, there's that, and also, what was up here? I'm gonna have to reread this. calculative, characterized by attack on cherished beliefs or institutions. Gotcha. Calculative on that one that I messed up as well. Yeah. And they, like I said, they decided to throw the thesaurus at this one. We're about halfway through. That wasn't too bad. All right, well, I'll do another readout later. I need to give my jaw a break. It is tired. Ugh. Behavior. Make my life easy for dyslexic, please. Don't do big words. At least not big words with a lot of, like, repeating letters. Criminy. I guess to be fair, I can always do the lore readouts later. Says iconoclastic pretty quickly, like not really any emphasis on syllable that I noticed. Iconoclastic, like that, I guess. Or is it iconoclastic? Like no O in the middle. Iconoclastic or iconoclastic? Iconoclastic, like that. O in the middle, so iconoclastic. Kind of like that, I'd imagine. Iconoclastic. No real emphasis. Crime name. Behavior making my life difficult, apparently. Well, we'll try and do another readout after next match. Either that, or if my jaw's too tired, I'll try and do it tomorrow. Because we're going to be in the BTD probably for the entire week. Maybe not Friday, though, as we want to do some description. Yeah, it went pretty well, otherwise. So far, pretty sad, halfway through. She looks like a zombie getting ready to pounce. Her posture is terrible. I mean, if you look at her, yeah, if you look at her, like, silhouette, she's very much hunched forward. She's like I said, she reminds me of a raven. Like, her posture, her head twitches, her hands at the side, almost like, you know, wings without feathers. It very much is Raven-esque. The elongated neck, everything. It's very crow or Raven-like. Or, you know, long story short, it looks like a corvid. Why does she walk like that on the endgame screen? She bounces. I mean, if you're walking like this, where she's... So funny enough, I think she walks very similar to me, which is strange to say, where she lands on the ball of her heels first, and then she goes ball heel instead of heel ball. Most people go ball heel, but I guess for some reason I taught myself to walk, oh yeah, a lot of people walk heel ball, but for some reason I've learned to teach myself how to walk ball heel, which means my footsteps are very quiet. I do not make much noise when walking, which has scared a fair few people. One of my old managers at Microsoft, back when we were in person, was an ex-Marine. And when I would go up to, like, ask questions of him, I would literally surprise him to the point of him jumping. And, like, he's a pretty attentive dude. And I would just kind of, like, be off to the side waiting, and he would be none the wiser that I was there because of how quiet my footsteps are. Even on, like, full wooden floors and, like, shoes. But yeah, I walk, ball heel instead of heel ball. So it's a very light footstep. And I'm not exactly a small person either, like 5'8", like 170. So I'm not exactly a small person. Go for live, awesome. Got some more VODs to watch. Very excited. Not only do you give no mercy in a game, you're scared in real life. Where's the mercy? Frankie gets scared of me all the time because he has no sense of surrounding. So like I'll just appear in like a room and he just jumps because of it. I also can sit still for way too long for my own good. I remember when I was younger, I'd give out Halloween candy in a freaking Ghostface costume or a Grim Reaper costume with like a fake scythe and just sit there like a statue. And I'd freaking scare the hell out of some people. Specifically teenagers. They're like maybe a bit too old to be going trick-or-treating. The kids I wouldn't. The kids I would just stand still. But like the teenagers I would want numbers I'd go for. Treatment theater. Ooh. This is interesting. This is a very interesting map of her. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Let's find out. 1. Looks like to the right. Perfect. Yep, they're still on the gen. It looks like 2. Another hit. No, they are still swarmed. Fantastic. Excellent. I like that I was gonna get a hit anyways, but that extra pallet stun was just the extra measure. I love it. Get you down. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm gonna get much Scourge hook value, which is the only downside. Right there. That hard? You got it, right? There's not. Alright, let's pick you up first. Yeah, just a little bit altruistic. Alright, looks like no one's at those 2 gens. You have a Scourge hook down there, but I'm just gonna hook you here. We're in a good spot right now. Hello there, new survivor. Don't mind me. Oh, you're boxed in. You're in trouble. Yeah, you're in a bit of a rough spot. Like normally that loop here is so strong, but no longer. At least not against the artist. Okay. Well, you're boring. Yeah, decisive. Let's find out. Of course you do. Hey, you know what I could have done? I could have done the tack with decisive there. Uh-huh. I mean, if you want to go for the unhook now, that's fine. Go for it. Yeah. We're supposed to go here. Good hit. A little bit early. Thought she was gonna go to the other side, to be fair. Get you down. I do not think these people are ready for the artist. They're struggling just a wee bit. There, we got one. All in for what I need. Hi, how are you? Yeah, you going? I mean, a whole lot of nowhere, I guess. Up you go. And then I guess we can try and get a hit off Rose over here. I think it'd be like right. See if they went for the pickup. Oh, did you crawl down the basement? You did, you sneaky bugger. Up you go. Up you go. And my obsession's already dead, so Death Grip doesn't exactly do much outside of lockdown gens for 30 seconds. So kind of a late game or mid game corrupt. Okay, so they went there. Let's try and go back here. Sorry. Unfortunately, killer's got a kill. Where'd you go? There you are. But do appreciate stop by saying hi. Would love to have your ears party Guilty ones if you are interested. I am Mark, aka Guild Spire. I'm an educational Dead by Daylight player here to teach kills how to play killer and survivors how to play against killer. Very happy to have you here. Nope. Let's hoping that maybe that would hit. No. I don't think there's any reason to prime that. It went to the left though. Now, where are you? Scratch marks. Oh, I see. I see where you went. Are you done? Alright. Well, let's pick you up and call it a day, shall we? Honestly, with Leary's and just the amount of information that you can get with sending crows, or that crows across the map, Leary's feels a bit more bearable. Because one of the first parts about Leary's is not having any information on their location. Whereas with the dire crows, you're just able to send them out and get all the information you need. Which is kind of ridiculous. It's very, very strong. Some extra blood points in the meanwhile. But not bad at all. Well, with that being said, GG well played to these survivors. And I was gonna always say the killer, but I'm the killer. I guess GG's well played myself as well. Oh my god, I just went past it like 5 times, didn't I? For the love of God. If you give them another shout out, would be much appreciated. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mute there. And bring up your VOD for later. And then mute there. Bring up the VOD for later.
Epic pop.
And let's go say hi. Drop a follow. And a GG well played. Always here to support.
Thank you for the follow.
streamers.
Epic!
I hope that you have
Very epic.
a
No,
great
I'm about
night
to follow.
/ stream.
I'm about to fall asleep with this music. I clicked on relaxing Nintendo music.
And lurk.
We're swimming. We are under the ocean. Yo, more follows. Thank you.
Seems like a chill dude. Seems like
I
a
don't
chill
even know
dude.
what's wrong with my commands. I need to fix all that stuff.
And let's also... Oh, I put exclamation point Urk instead of lurk. GG's. And let's go to GG
I'll
well
take
played.
shit on the PTB, or am I just fucking shit out of luck and keep getting this one?
Drop a
I
follow,
mean, it's only my
and
second
GG well
one, but
played.
still. I don't like it. Alright.
Always
Hello?
here to support.
Hello, lovely.
A
Are you the one that killed me?
beavers.
All I wanted to do was see Bird Mommy.
A great night / stream.
Mommy. Hello, lovely.
And leave a
How
lurk
are
as well.
Always here to support other Dead by Daylight streamers. I hope that you have a great night.
Don't
Thank you
have
so
one
much.
right now.
I was playing
Otherwise,
indie horror
I
games
would.
all night, and then I was like, let's see what the PTB is up to. And you were my first match of the night.
I'm sorry.
Don't have one right now, otherwise I would have. Listen, like I got off the hook that second time, and I just like crouched and looked at you, and I was like, Mommy, please, let me see what you can do. And then you were like, no, you're dead. You're dead.
Oh. Good luck, have fun
Oh
next
my god,
week.
Dante, did you really do that? Dante, you're a mess. Thank you.
I hope that the PTB treats you well.
Well, this whole lobby is Twitch TVers. I don't know about the killer, but like every survivor has Twitch
I'll leave
TV.
luck as well.
It's so funny. I just,
They seem wicked chill. Definitely recommend go say hi to both of them. Once wifey was like, Bird Mommy, let me see you, don't kill me. unfortunately for them, the artist does not exactly know what mercy is. You must be painted on the hook. Hi from Waifu Stream. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? Welcome to the Guilty Ones, my friend. I am Mark, aka Guiltspire. I'm an educational Dead by Daylight player here to teach ghosts how to play killer and survivors how to play against killer. Very happy to have you here. Thank you much for the follow. I really do appreciate it. Hopefully they've been having fun with the BTB outside of that match. Though I know they just said that was their first match, so unfortunately been playing a bit of the artist for today and been having a ton of fun while doing it. She's just so super strong. Like, this is... How long ago has the Blight come out? That's actually a really good question. Hold up. I'm curious on that. How many killers ago was the Blight? Wasn't the Blight, like, the 4th year anniversary? So, like, wasn't it, like, 4 killers, give or take? Because we have Pinhead, Nemesis, Twins, Blight? 4, right? 4? Is there anything else between Trickster? Trickster, you're right. Yeah, Trickster. So 4. So they're 5 killers ago. So yeah, I mean, pretty much been a year and a quarter since we really got a S-tier killer, hasn't it? And then the last one before that was Spirit, and then of course the OG S-tier herself, the Nurse. But honestly, yeah, because I think it started to be around Blight's release. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, holy hell. I mean, at the very least, like I said, she's a solid A, but I think that she's an S tier. Like, just the ability to cross-map like we did, and just get so much sheer value off of predicting movement. Or if survivors just decide not to move, right? If they decide not to move the swarm over them, then, okay, you know, you stay there. We're gonna get a few hits in. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. So about a year and a half since he really got an S-tier killer. And then, I guess it hasn't been that long ago since we got, like, a very good perk. Though I guess really the best one that has been added would have also been Blight with Undying. Undying is probably one of the best perks added to the game for killers as far as gen slowdown is concerned. And then I think now just like Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance, and Grim Embrace are so strong. Pentimento I think is more or less a like combo build, so I don't think it's like it's strong, but it's not like strong, if that makes sense. There is counterplay to it. Because you can break the Rekindled Totems. But, like, by itself, it's very good. You know, just the one Rekindle. But the question is, you know, if survivors see that, will they just not go out and destroy the Rekindle? I think just the combo build with Plaything Retribution and Pentimento is the way to go. And then maybe, like, a Corrupt Intervention on top of which. Whereas I think Grim Embrace has an argument to be banned from comp. Like, I'm thinking of how it will be used, and it just could so easily be used to get 4 down, shut down gens for 30 seconds, and camp a person to the next stage. Like, think about that, how strong that is. Either camp the 4th one to 2nd stage, because that means it's 30 seconds when survivors are not on gens, and then you sit there. I think it needs to be, at face value right now, I'm going to probably talk with other TOs and COs, but I think Grim Embrace will have to be banned from comp. Like, in all seriousness. Because it is a thing. Then Scourge Hook, I don't know. I guess the question is Scourge... I think on smaller maps, Scourge Hook is just going to be a better option than Ruin. Like, thinking Macmillan maps, thinking Cold Tower, thinking... maps like ARP, Suffocation Pit, maps like that where you have 3 gens, that really makes the map feel much smaller. I think Scourge Hook, Pain Resonance just better than Ruin, because you can just get so much sheer value from Ruin Pop together, or not Ruin Pop, Scourge Hook Pop. So I think on those maps where like your totem usually gets cleansed in 30 seconds, bring Scourgehook Pain Resonance instead. So I could see that. But Hex Pentimento, I'm not seeing. Once you pair that with Pinhead Scourgehook, you can. It kind of interacts the same way as Boon Totems Twisted, where if you have Pain Resonance and Gift of Pain, you apply both Scourgehooks at the same time. So with that, you would be able to get the 15% regression on the most completed gen, and once they get unhooked and healed, well, unhooked, they get the mangled stats, so it means that you have 2 survivors off of gens for 20 seconds each, making a 40-second slowdown. In addition to that, the person then healed gets a 9% penalty until they're injured again. Like, that can be pretty powerful. So I could see Scourgehooks being used together, and I think eventually there might be like a full Scourgehook build, because think about it. You have Gen Slowdown, which is passive. You have Gen Regression, which is passive. Like, I could see eventually, as more Scourgehooks get added, we might just see a full Scourgehook build. Point blank. I could see it. Would not be surprised at all. And then Hex Pentimento, like I said, the Hex Play thing, Retribution, build, I think is kind of its home. Also, I think I've decided my jaw's too tired. I'm gonna record the Lore by Daylight tomorrow. Either that or in live, I don't care which. All I know is my jaw is sore. Because I've done a lot of talking today. At the very least, we recorded the power breakdown and the perk breakdown, so that's good. I might want to record some gameplay, or at least have gameplay behind the voiceover. Of the power breakdown, at least. Maybe. I might do that. Have some gameplay behind it. Hey, what's up, Arctic? How you doing? Hugs to you as well. Always appreciate being here. We're currently in the player test build, public test build of Dead by Daylight Chapter 22. Very excited for it. Alright. A coin. Sure. DPS, I love to see. And of course, our Cypress Memento Mori. As I do want to record the animations, might do that tonight with you, Giraffe, if you're still up for it. I'll see if I'm still up for it after the stream. To do, like, locker grab, pallet breaks, all that fun stuff. Alright, sounds good. I appreciate you for being flexible. Oh, tomorrow I need to be up early. Shoot, I just realized I have an interview tomorrow. Need to be up at like 9 a.m. I think. Let me take a look. I think it's 9 a.m. Yeah, I think it's 9 a.m. On the new map, I see. Let's take a look. See, get our lethal pursuit. 1, 2. Go, my pretties, fly! There we go. We hit 1 to the right. Perfect. Oh, we also see Cheryl. Hi! Oh, sorry, Kate, not Cheryl. You look like a Cheryl there from the side. Don't mind me. Scourgehook, where is a Scourgehook? There is a Scourgehook, and you still are swarmed. That's fantastic. I wonder if this is James's AFK? No, he just... Yeah, I think he knows. I don't know how that didn't hit. Apparently, they... Like, it's just such nasty anti-loop. Like, there's not much you can do. It's like, do you want to re-loop it or go to next tile? Rinse, repeat, rinse, repeat. Eventually, you're going to get hit again, right? we hit Leon. There. Thank you, Leon. Appreciate it. And that, my friends, is what you don't want to do against artists. That's a very, very good example. I have no skirt chucks around me. Alright. Guess we bring you over here. I'd like to go for that skirt chuck, but there's no way I make it. Oh, hey, Kate. Perfect. Didn't even realize you were here, but I'm not going to complain. There we go. Okay. Sure. Be my guest. I'll get you over to this skirt chuck. Get some more aggression going. Up you go. Now, I feel like I saw James over here. That is actually fine. I get the hit and then get him hit with throws. Yeah. Like, even if you apply some anti-loop in that scenario, it's still perfectly fine for them to just run through it. Also, did they suicide? I guess they did. Let's check some gems. My pretties. There we go. One on the left. Like, there's never a moment where I feel like I don't know where I'm going as this killer. If that makes sense at all. Like, there's so much free info that you can get if you use her power smart. You have a window here, right? Vault. Up you go. Where do I bring you to our basement? I think it's behind the staircase here. Let's find out. Basement. Indeed, it is basement. Like I said, this basement, nothing special, unfortunately. I would really like more themed basements, to be honest. But no dice. And we literally have not seen Quentin at all, I don't think. But I guess let's go over to Shack and start our search for Hatch there. Quentin boy. Alright, buddy. Want to say hi to my crows? They want to say hi to you. Oh my god, it actually hit him. Where is he? There. Okay, he's moving from left to right, I see. Can I get a hit here? No, not there. Have to do a little bit further. Right, no. A little bit early. Can you launch the crows to do damage across map? Yes, you can. That's one of the insane things you can do with them, actually. And then the 1-2 punch, lose no distance. And down you go. Yeah, only if they're already swarmed. Otherwise, it's only within the flight path, which I can show you what that means when we say flight path. Up you go, Quentin boy. So, when you charge up your ability, you see that there. That distance is about the same distance as, like, Pyramid Head, his Punishment of the Damned. Within that distance, they get injured. Outside that distance, they get swarmed. If they are swarmed, you hit at them again, at any distance, they become injured. So think of it like the Punishment of the Damned is the best way I think about it. But you have to be really quick on the draw to go summon into hit. So you have to be a little bit predictive. But GG, well played to these survivors. Oh my god, I'm going through the freaking gauntlet again. Alright. GG easy. Uh-huh. GG easy. I just realized something. Can I submit speedruns for her already? Hold up. No, I cannot. Makes sense. I was about to say, if I could, that'd be kind of insane, because that definitely would have been a good speedrun. Or whack them while they think they're safe on a gen. Oh yeah, no. So the best thing that I found to use with this is literally for info on gens, like 110%, is you'll find me at the beginning of every single game basically getting the value of Lethal Pursuer by aiming at gens, sending crows out, and then going, oh, there's one. Oop, didn't mean to bump the mic. Sorry about that. Like, oh, there's one. And immediately go boom, 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 boom. It's ridiculous. You can get so much raw value out of the artist's power if you know how to use it right. Speaking of Lethal Pursuer, I really don't need you now, do I? Not in the slightest. Lethal Pursuer, what did I just say? I don't need you. I basically have built-in lethal. Oh, I forgot the Mori! Oh, that's painful. I forgot the Mori last game. Oh. She looks like she could be fun. I'll have to give her a shot when she releases. She's a lot of fun. She is very strong, but very mechanically in-depth. I do not think your average killer can simply pick her up and be good with her. I think that's one of the biggest things I've realized about her, but anyone who has the mind to set up scenarios where you can make use out of her power, even if they're, you know, another loop or two later, I think that's where you find her at the highest level of play, and why I personally believe that she's either at the top of A tier, or probably either at the bottom of S, or right above Spirit. You play a lot of Hag? So if you like setup in some way, then yes. The biggest thing about Hag is that you have to like set up a web. Here you have to set up in Chase. It's very much in the middle of Chase setup, and sometimes you can get some very cheeky plays. I'd recommend going through the VOD as well as watching the 30 minutes of the artist gameplay that will be uploaded on the YouTube, or my YouTube channel, to see some examples of that. But she is so much fun. She really is. I love her silhouette. Like, it's such a unique silhouette. Like, overall, the modeling department, the art department did such a good job with her design. Like, it's such a good silhouette. Like, she has so much unique movement that really differentiates her from every other killer. Like, most killers are kind of rigid and stand up straight, but she's like Hag, she's arched over, but not like Hag, you know, in the way that she's short, because she's average height, where Hag is pretty short. Like, she's average height, hunched over, elongated neck, those little head movements that are very reminiscent of crows. Like, it's just so good. Yeah, her aesthetic's amazing. This is probably one of my favorite aesthetics out of any killer. Like, I really like Trickster because he's Trickster, but like, this is probably one of my favorite aesthetics of any killer without any cosmetic, like just base. Trickster is very flashy, but like she is very much a, you know, in-depth in a horror aesthetic. You know, there's the ink dripping off of her body. There's the weapon, which is combined with her arm. Her other arm, which is also all inked up. The little movements, just everything's just so unique. I love it. Though I disagree with the people who say, well, Trickster doesn't place in DBD because he's not very horror-esque. I don't care. You know, this game is horror themed. I have to admit though, like, she is very much, you know, driven around horror. You know, she feels like a monster that if you run into her in the middle of the night, you're gonna be scared at first glance, where Trickster will make you scared in due time. He's a bit more of a slow burn. But if you don't run to him in the right moments, you would be none the wiser. Where if you run into her, doesn't matter what time of day it is, doesn't matter when it is, where it is, you'll be terrified. That is for sure. mean, do they read his lore? True. I'm thinking of the perspective of you put Trickster in front of a crowd of people, especially his fans. They're not gonna know any better, right? But you put her in front of a crowd of people, they'll run for the hills. Just more so horror aspect, especially visually. Yeah, exactly. The lore-wise always shores up those deficiencies. That is true. That is true. That is the true horror. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Looking like a monster is required to be a killer. That's true. No, I fully agree with that. I never understood people's perspective around Trickster. Like, he doesn't look like he belongs in Dead by Daylight. Like, no, you don't need to look like a monster to be part of a horror franchise. But if I'm thinking of like the aesthetic, I really do lean more towards the artist than I do to Trickster, at least personally. She's probably one of my favorite aesthetics at this point. They're both very unique, though, in their own right. Trickster is probably still the most flashy killer in the game. Though I say if you kind of compare everyone else's sense of style, I'd say the artist probably comes in a close second. Especially as she did design this herself. Probably. Probably read through it, but I won't, you know, do a full readout today, because like I said, jaw is tired. I already talk enough, let alone doing readouts of perks, of powers, and, you know, going through everything and whatnot. But she is ridiculously powerful. Let's put on that off right before I do forget. Did I get any other perks I'd like to use? Not really, right? Nothing really here stands out at a glance. You've got like 0 value out of Pentimento. The survivors are not doing totems for obvious reasons. They do be having them boon totems to use. Also, I'm thinking this will probably be our last match, and that might seem a bit odd because we have 30 minutes left. But even if we were to get into the match right now, it'd still be another like 10-15 minutes, and then like another 10-15 minute queue time. So I think this will probably be our last match. Yo, what's up, Goth Girl? How you doing? I've said this a million times, but I cannot wait to see her cosmetics. I can't wait either, Vice. But also, Vice, do you want to see someone nutty? Because we got a clip earlier that, like, is the embodiment of how stupidly powerful she is. But also, I've had, like, so many, like, absurd moments with this killer. I'm so happy with this killer, though. They're so fun to play. I'm not sure how fun they are to play against. That's my only thing I'm not sure about, but they're fun to play because there's so much mechanical, like so much stuff mechanically going on when playing her that you can do. Like the more you can chain things together, the more powerful you become. Like there is a very high skill ceiling that I feel like people are not going to reach. Very similar to Nurse. But yeah, you know, just that clip showing how you can down 2 survivors within like a second of each other with the artist. And everyone always says they're going to main the new killer, but I honestly would just because of how pretty she is, even if they nerf her. Yeah, no, that play is brutal. I think the main way if they were to nerf her in any way would be to reduce the amount of time that the dire crows stay before despawning, and maybe making a max limit on how far they fly. But outside of that, I can't see them nerfing her without making her pretty much unplayable. You've really not played this since you bought it? You should. I mean, right now we're in the public test build, so this is not even live yet. This is brand new content that just dropped today, and we're getting some early sneak peeks on it. But yeah, like this is similar to like How do you nerf nurse? You just don't. Just lower the limit of bird range. I think that would be a start if they wanted to. But like that's a huge part of her kit, I would argue, being able to send over the crows map wide, because it doesn't really get you much value. Or make her a solar killer. I want them to remove all 110 killers. Not like remove them, but like buff them to 115. I don't think that 110 killers have a place in the game at this point in time. No, she's not. She's 115. She is 115. I thought she was going to be 110. Based on the data mine, I think they planned for her to be, but they may have changed it. But she is 115, which is kind of nutty. But yeah, I personally don't like the existence of 110 killers. Like, for the most part, it's detrimental to good gameplay. Now, Ormond Resort, you say? Sounds like a plan. I almost feel like you don't want to use Corrupt Intervention with her because of, like, the early lethal pursuer value you can theoretically get. Have very smaller hitbox on the crows. Maybe. Where did we hit? We hit middle. Okay. See them going to the left. They're shooting away the crows. That's worth a shot. Hello there, Megan, my girl. Go for it. Be my guest. Was hoping I would get that. She did stop, which was smart of her. Do you have Dead Heart? You need Dead Heart to survive. No. I see you. Don't think I don't. Oh yeah, it's so much early game pressure. Alright, let's see this. Good attempt. I appreciate it. Yes, yes. Click your seizure stick. It's fine. Hello there. Clicky click. Do you want to loop me? Because that's not going to work in your favor, I'll be honest. You have Dead Heart? Sure you do. I can't imagine. I don't think Save the Best for Last would be worth it on her, to be honest with you. Now, on the other hand, I will say Scourge Hook feels really good on her because they scream. You can immediately prime a crow and then get a hit. Like, that's just such good value. Then you get info on their whereabouts. Get a hit. Ooh, that was close. If we had been maybe 1 second shorter. Hi, what are you doing? Don't do that. Don't do that. Like, you can do some really nasty stuff and almost get, like, a 1-2 hit with her. We did it earlier, where basically you can almost hit a survivor, like, with a Huntress Hatchet, and then immediately be on them. Are they oblivious with crows? No. But there is an add-on that makes them oblivious, which you better bet is going to become viable. Where are you guys? I hear you there. Just prime that crow there. Do that there. I mean, that's fine. You got rid of the crow, but you're gonna get hit nonetheless. Like, get hit or get hit. What about the prime? Now what do you do? You have Dead Heart. You don't make that. What are Eries? They're god-awful. The Eries are god-awful. Like, I think when you get the swarm off of you, you become exposed. There's, like, some use to that, but for the most part, they're just not good. I wouldn't recommend them. Hello, Megan. How are you doing? What are her best perks or add-ons? Which one are you looking for? There's the injure. We lost 0 distance there. You want to go to God Pal? Because you're not going to make it there in time. You're going to get injured here. Bounce landing. Best add-on? Probably the Oblivious one in recovery time, I'd say. Honestly, though, I don't think she needs add-ons. Like, her base kit feels really strong. Like, we have been just running without add-ons, and it feels just so good. I will say, using the Scourge Hook feels very synergistic. Hi, how are you? I was not aiming for you, but sure. Yeah, that did not work out in your favor, did it? You should have baited that window, that's for sure. You just went against an M1 Bubba, also known as a Mubba. Oh wow, she's actually there on the gen. I would have expected her to leave based on Terrius alone. A little bit early. I don't know how I got blinded there, to be honest. Hi, how are you doing? Go down. Scourge hook time. I'll put you right over here. Michaela, you've given up, it seems. Honestly, 6 hooks on 5 gens remaining. I can understand. Just check. And let's also place one here so we can hit a person on the hook, on the unhook. Keep the diacro timing in mind. Let's extend the timer. I saw a crow come back over here. Perfect. It's surprising he did not hit anyone. They must have moved off the hook immediately, so the flight path must have not gotten them. Unfortunate. Either that or I misaimed. No, I didn't. They just moved off immediately. Seemingly no one there. Let's check some gems. Hey, GG, my friend. GG. I appreciate you stopping by saying hi. Would love to have you here as part of Gilty Ones if you are interested. I'm Mark, aka Guildspire. I'm an educational Dead by Dead player here to teach kills of Play Killer and survivors how to play against Killer. Very happy to have you here. Let's do there, and there. Scratch marks here. Hello, Megan. Is that what you saying? Sure. Don't mind me. And Kazoo! Thank you much for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. 9% off that gen, actually 12. Tier 2. Let's see. Don't think we hit anyone there. Oh, wait, hold up. No. They must be leaving the gens pretty early. Makes sense, honestly. And if you're smart, you can actually line up multiple gens in one pathway, like this here. Also, I just saw that survivor. So you can hit both these gens and check them at the same time if you're smart. Killer instinct. Excellent. Let's set up for the window. No idea where they went. I think they may have went into a locker. Yep. Perfect. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But he went to the basement. Though honestly, I don't like putting people in the basement at Whiffer. I think there's much better uses. Though, I wonder. So this might be a bit ridiculous. Because if they run through both birds, they get injured. Huh. Yeah. There might be some stupid shenanigans you can do with basement now I think about it. Interesting. Very interesting. Looks like they suicided. Makes sense. I don't think you're gonna be able to complete 5 generators by yourself, so do understand that. Once we can find them using our dire crows. You know, never know, might get a lucky hit across the map. Scratch marks. They're over here. Michaela, my dear, where you going? Want to drop that pallet? No? Okay. Well, I guess that just means you go down. It works too. I'm A-okay with that. Up you go. And let's put you on a scourge hook because why not? They have to be hook bombing almost, I think, and not thinking about how that would injure them. I think you're correct. The question is, do we think your average survivor would understand that? Because your average survivor definitely hook bombs quite often. So I could see that being a possibility and getting some injuries that way. GG, well played to these survivors. Alright. Jesus Christ, went through again, didn't I? Yes, indeed. Alright, well, I am quite satisfied with the new killer. I don't know about you guys. They are freaking awesome. From a design perspective, to a cosmetic perspective, to a gameplay perspective, they are so much fun and have so much potential for really interesting and varied play styles. So, way excited to see the artist go live on the 30th. At least that's our estimated time frame. We don't know for certain, but I want to see why it wouldn't be the 30th. I do think we're gonna postpone the animation stuff for now, Giraffe, because I am exhausted from all the talking I've done. Maybe tomorrow. We'll see. But on that note, guys, let's go raid someone. Let's take a look and see who that might be. We have... He's not alive from COTF. It doesn't appear to be. Let's take a look. I want to find someone who was on the PTB. Ooh, looks like that one guy D might be. That one guy D is perfect. In that case, guys, let's go raid that one guy D. Alright, guys, as always, if you did enjoy the show, please make sure to hit that follow button. Alright, though, check out our Actual Life campaign. We're trying to help heal kids at St. John's Hospital here in Fargo, North Dakota. On that note, I'll see y'all tomorrow with some more PTP at 7 p.m. CST. Bye-bye!